motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, I gotta go make it happen. Take the world in a loving
Fire it up, Timmy.
Fire all of the guns at once and explode into space. I like smoking lightning, heavy metal thunder, racing with the wind, and the feeling that I'm under. Yeah, I gotta go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of the guns at once and explode into space. Like a true nature's child, we were born to be wild. We can climb so high, I never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. Get some motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, I gotta go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. And let the true nature shine. We were born to be wild. We can climb so high. I never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild.
Guys, let's start the show up in here. Let's do this, everybody. Start the show. Fire it up, Timmy. Let's go. Let's go, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. I hope everybody is doing really well. I think Tim G is at the grill still, but we're going to fire up the stream here. We're going to talk some watches. I watched the F1 movie earlier today with the roommate. It was a 9 a.m. Screening. So the I don't know if this is usual, unusual, or this is the standard, but the entire basically me and the roommate, we had the entire theater to ourselves. Totally empty, completely empty, guys. Just two of us. It was perfect. It was like as if we were home, as if we didn't even. Yeah, I rented. Actually, the reality, she doesn't even know it. The roommate doesn't know it, but I actually bought out all the seats to make her feel really special. It's just me and her. That's what ballers do, right? That's oh, oh, man, funny stuff. Can you imagine? I did hear that there's like celebrities who do that. Like they'll buy out the entire theater. Yeah. Yeah. If you're a celebrity, come to Brooklyn Regal Theater and you can have the similar experience to other celebs. There you go. Shout out to everybody who's joining us tonight in the chat. Got Tim G, got Ray Ray. We saw F1 movie yesterday. Whoa, very nice, Ray Ray. Congrats. Was actually very good. I was very surprised. Um, the roommate said the plot line is not realistic because Brad Pitt is a little bit too old, but it's a movie. It's a movie, man. Okay. Sometimes you have it's not real, right? There was an element of realism to it. Like there's certain like probably they based the rules on real F1 rules, wasn't just made up. The way the storyline was structured was very it was a lot of drama. Okay, it was a lot of car crashes. I think they destroyed a number of vehicles in the movie just to just to create some drama, baby. Everybody loves a little bit of drama, but not too much drama. As long as it's real. Marco upvoted. Thank you so much, Marco. JMB, Kaloy, Matt, Dave 451. We even got Speedy Hernandez. Hi, Turd Slurpers. I'm still sick, so I don't know how long I'm gonna keep tonight's live stream going, but I'm still recovering from this very nasty flu. Maybe I have COVID. Who knows? Whatever it was, the it just knocked me down on my ass. It's all the traveling, going to London. I came back, low immune system, boom, sent back to bed packing. Daniel Katz says he's not interested. He's not interested in the movie. By the way, which watch did I wear to F1 the movie? I wore the Ingenieur IWC Ingenieur, the unworthy watch, or should I say worthy? Yeah, I wore my Ingenieur. Gotta love this watch. Incredible piece. IWC has done an incredible job of reviving the Ingenieur line, but actually they botched it. Who am I fooling? Okay, IWC totally botched the release. There was a lot of hype. They slightly overpriced the watch. They could have made something really really special, but it's just the way that they released everything. But it's like they announced the watch and none of them were available for sale and they were slightly too expensive. And then only like 9 months later, people were able to buy the watches. And by then, a lot of the hype and interest around it has died down because it allowed opportunity for the haters to just bombard the watch, with a lot of hate. Like, oh, it's too expensive, blah blah blah. Oh, it's an ETA. It's not an in-house movement because they based it on the ETA, just a reworked ETA movement, blah blah blah. There's no micro adjustment. Typical hater shit. So the watch actually lost a lot of its luster, but it actually played a prominent role. Not this model, but the previous one. And actually want to find what model this is. This is the one that Brad Pitt wears in the movie. I believe that's the one that they re-released. Like the new green dial is the re-release of this one. And as you can see there, that's a good looking Ingenieur. I bet these are going to go through the effing roof on the secondary market. In fact, let's try to find it. Let's go to Chrono 24. Hey, roommate. Daniel Katz says he's not interested. Not interested. Okay, sorry, Daniel. Let's go Chrono 24. IWC Ingenieur. IWC engineer. Oh, there you can see my model. There's a green one for 25,000. That's fucking ballistic. Oh, that's kind of the one that Brad Pitt is wearing. 6,000, but that's a two-tone one. We want the one without that type of bezel. We want just a regular one. Oh, there's quite a few of these. What? These green ones why are they going? Are they going above retail? Or are they made of out of white gold? I've seen a gentleman at in London who's wearing this green one. It was great. A fantastic watch. Oh, this could be the one. Something along these lines, right? That kind of looks like what Brad Pitt is wearing. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Hey, so hard. Hey, Daniel.
Hi,
How you
hi.
doing?
I'm in a store.
Uh oh. Uh oh. You're
What?
causing
What's all
havoc
about?
in the real world. Is that what you're doing?
Unfortunately, I'm in the world, but something caught my attention. This is
Yes.
a hat. You see this hat?
Let's see here. Good vibes only. Wow.
Is that corny or what? Oh, okay, okay.
Interesting. It's
I'll forget
interesting.
it.
Good
Forget it.
vibes only.
No, no,
It's
no,
a good
forget it.
motto, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No
But it's
negativity. There's
overdone.
just too much negativity out there.
Right,
Speaking
right.
of positivity, Oyster, thank you so much for sending some coin. He sent a super chat, 13 sec. Really appreciate that. Um,
Okay.
so okay, so you're out and about, causing havoc, tearing
Yes.
up the downtown Toronto.
Yeah. People
Uh,
are walking their dogs. It's also.
yeah,
It's also. Gay pride parade and thing for a whole weekend all over the city from people
right.
all
That's why
around the
you're out.
world. No, no, I'm
Oh,
just out for a walk.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. I don't want to interrupt. I just thought I'd
Not
pop in.
really. Not really
You know,
interrupting. I'm not really doing anything that important. Just talking about watches, IWC,
oh
F1.
yeah.
Yeah, you haven't happened to watch the movie, right?
Not yet. No,
Okay,
no.
I got
I'm
you. You
sure
gonna
it's.
go see it?
I probably
Oh,
will.
yeah.
That's the one movie you want to go to the theater for, I guess, because you get the acoustics. The whole
Yes.
thing is the acoustics for that type of film, I guess. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
especially if you can see it like IMAX or some stuff like that.
yeah, IMAX or UMAX, either one. I
Yeah,
prefer IMAX.
IMAX.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah. IMAX is too expensive. I just got the cheapest tickets,
Oh,
and we
oh, I
had
thought
the
that, I
theater
thought.
all to ourselves.
Wait a minute, I thought all of them are IMAX. You mean IMAX is another theater? Okay, all right. No, I'll just
No,
go with the
there is
cheapest
an
theater.
IMAX version. There was an IMAX version of this movie, but it was even more expensive.
Oh no, okay.
I
No,
was
I'll just
hoping to get the helmet popcorn bucket, but they were all sold out.
really.
Hmm.
All right.
Real unfortunate. Mike Lewis says tomorrow is the real race, Timmy, not Hollywood version of F1. Yeah. Um, I think this movie is going to do a lot for the real F1. It's going to build up some real interest in F1 as a, I don't know, like a sport or whatever you want to call it. What is F1 considered? Like a sport, Daniel? What would you consider
It's a sport. What do you mean?
a sport?
Formula One. Yeah,
Yeah,
serious sport. Car
it's a
race.
ser-
Yeah,
yeah, top level
that's
sport.
right. You know who's a top level F1 is Alex. Alex Kojak. He's a top F1 fan, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
By the way, guys, let us know in the chat if you're a fan of F1, and let us know your favorite moment in
Oh
the
shoot.
F1 history,
Uh,
if you would like to do so. Um, James the advisor put something in the chat earlier. Oh, this one right here. James the advisor says, on the scale of 1 to 10, Tim's F1 knowledge is 0.
well, at least I
Okay.
know. So is mine. I know nothing about. I don't even know anything about the gear shifts or anything.
The gear shifts. I
Yeah,
don't even own the car. And you had a car at least.
I had a car, the most boring car that you could imagine, but it ran, and then I gave it up. It
What
was
car
on
did
its
you
last
have?
legs. Camry.
Toyota Camry?
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool. How long did you
Well,
have it?
for a number of years, I got it off someone.
Really?
So yeah, so it's
But
nothing
now
to
that you
brag about.
moved to downtown Toronto,
No, then you're
you
paying
don't
for
really
the.
need it.
Well, I don't want it. It's the rent for the building. It's the rent for the building, rent for the car. I wouldn't want to buy it. I would probably buy it on a lease with a buyback,
Yeah.
but probably
Parking.
not buy back. I I didn't want to spend all that just for a car. Then
Yeah,
when you
it's just
go somewhere, you got to
insurance,
and
parking,
insurance,
fuel,
gas, fuel. That's right.
but
You
then you
know.
got other stuff like cleaning it,
Oh
and
yeah. God forbid cleaning it. Yes. Yeah.
cleaning it. What else? There's other expenses that you then every 10,000 miles, whatever you have to do, oil change.
Yeah, and then you gotta get it fixed, or maybe it's under warranty. I don't know. But then you gotta park it wherever you can find parking that we didn't even talk about when you're going somewhere. Like you go in some building, get lost where you park the car, like in
Oh
that
yeah.
building parking, like in Miami. Rich chick would find
Yeah.
a place, but I don't know. She got a car for us, and we all went in the car that she had. She rented, but no, I don't need that.
And you can't even drink and drive. What's the point?
Yeah,
Every time I go out, I do some drinking, and then you can't
yeah,
even. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Okay.
really it's completely pointless for me.
I'm gonna just show you the park again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
sign out in a little while. Maybe I'll come
Okay.
back. All
Okay.
right.
Cool.
So I'm in the park, and now I'm gonna go.
Nice.
So it's
That's a
getting
beautiful
noisy.
park.
Yeah, a lot
Wow.
of
It's a
people are
great,
sitting
great,
around.
great place to contemplate your life choices, Daniel.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
All
Thank
right.
you for Thanks for the hints. Okay, Tim. All right. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
No, I love park. That's what I do. I'm just saying
Yeah.
what I do
See,
there.
people are just sitting out, just like at
Wait,
Central
wait.
Park.
Yeah, they're just sitting there on the grass, touching grass. You know how they say walk on the grass. Take off the socks, take off the shoes,
Yeah. Yeah.
walk on the grass a little bit, Daniel.
Yeah.
Get in
Yeah.
touch with Mother Nature, as they say.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye.
Just don't step into any turds. Okay. Bye.
Oh yeah. I'll try not to. Bye. Bye.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye. Just catching up here with the chat. There's a lot of chatter going on. Uh, Prost says, Tim, what do you think about the JLC? A JLC, some reference number, Grand Reverso. Let's just pull it up here. JLC 240.2.18 Grande Reverso. Uh, oh yeah, yeah. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Here, I'll pull it up. Mm, there it is. Yeah. There's different models. I don't know if I even pulled up the right one. Let's do it again. JLC 24. Sorry, I'm still sick, man. Still sick here, guys. Okay, there we go. I guess it's a chronograph. On one side, it's a chronograph. On the other side, it's a date. A lot of value, I guess, for your money. Let's see. Let's flip the other side. Whoa. What the fuck? Is that a chronograph? I'm not even sure. Jesus. It looks like it's a lot of value for your money, but it's going to be a really big watch and going to be very expensive to service. So that's what you have to understand. The more complications watch like this has, the more difficult it is to maintain it. It's got a lot of stuff here going on. I don't know. I personally, it's not my type of thing. I like simple watches. You just throw them on, and go. But this seems like a really, really cool, very functional watch. It could be your signature timepiece. I don't mind it. Scott Wexland, good evening, everyone. The movie is getting excellent reviews. I've seen the movie in a theater, Ford versus Ferrari, in December 2019. Nice. I haven't watched that one, but um, might have to go back and watch it. Now that I've seen this one, I've been really impressed. Um, let's see, anything else that I need to put up? So shout out to Hamilton Juan. He he's been I've been meaning to show this picture, but I haven't had a chance. He's been wearing his Omega Aquaterra chronograph GMT while doing some kayaking. Guy's an absolute legend. Good job, Hamilton Juan. Let's see. Keep going there. Shout out to Dingo. Miami Manny. Miami Manny, baby. Let's see. The my watch channel. Cheers, my watch channel. Sorry guys, I'm all over the place. I'm too far behind on the chat, so we'll just pick it up here. Um, I thought Brad was a one-off for the film. The I thought Brad was one-off for the film. There might be a second one, just the way they done it. Brad Pitt, basically, his character at the end goes on. I don't know if it's a spoiler, but if you don't want any spoilers, maybe turn it off now. But basically, at the end, he goes on to do other races. He's done F1, then he wants to do other racing styles. So it's a pretty cool film. Is it realistic? Not really. I was told it's not realistic because to compete at that level, you have to be basically training since birth for F1. You have to be bred right for this kind of sport. And in the movie, he kind of comes in. He's a kind of a race car driver, and he comes in for a season and crushes it. And then, um, yeah, I don't know how realistic that is. Um, my watch channel says, Tim, I'm pretty sure the watch brand wears in the film was just a one-off just for the film. Oh, oh, you think so? The IWC engineer that he wears, you think so? This one? Mm, hmm. It looks like some kind of vintage model. Maybe even without a date. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe it has a green dial, mm, but very difficult to tell. Uh, maybe it's an archival piece that IWC lended Brad Pitt to wear in the movie. And Brad Pitt is a big watch guy. I didn't realize. Well, I always knew he was kind of a watch guy because there's images of him on the internet circulating, him wearing all kinds of watches, everything from 5711 Patek Philippe to a some Rolex Daytona. He wears Breitling. He might have been actually a Breitling, uh, like a sponsor or something, or what do they call it? Like he may have had contract with Breitling. Let's see here. I've actually found an article where they talk about different watches that Brad wears. So it's just IFL watches. There's a great GQ article, but it's behind the paywall. Let's see here. Here's some images. Okay, so he wears. Ooh, wow. Vacheron Constantin 222. That's a that's a big piece. That's what Cars and Chrono got this same one in yellow gold. Also, look at that sweater. That's tie-dyed sweater. Looks nice. This was 2023. So he got it right around the same time that the watch came out. He's also been seen wearing the steel version of the 222, particularly the vintage one. I think he might have had a contract with Vacheron because it was just it felt a little bit contrived that you know Brad Pitt wearing the 222 steel, and then boom, they released the real deal. Um, Mike Lewis says wasn't impressed with the Alto Knights. De Niro needs to retire. Alto Knights. Haven't seen that. Um, it had these big brand names, right? Which is kind of what Brad Pitt is, right? This F1 movie, it kind of needed some big name behind it because they're going for this kind of blockbuster, um, blockbuster cinema. And there's just at the moment there's not a lot of new actors who are like macho like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is the last of the males, right? Like true masculine guys. There's the Breitling. There you go. The Breitling. This is the re-edition. Wow. That's a serious watch. I think these are quite difficult to get as well. There's no date. It's just perfect. Perfect. And where is he? Kind of taking a train, huh? Was this 2022? Oh, Bullet Train in the movie. What? It was in the movie Bullet Train. Huh. And there's another one. The chronograph. The premiere. Yeah, the premiere. See, I'm not a fan how the premiere looks. Looks okay, but let's see, there's another premiere. Wow. He's had a lot of premieres. This one, look at this. Guichet. Cartier Guichet. This was they just recently re-released the Tank Guichet, but I'm not sure whether Brad Pitt he had the vintage one or what was happening. But it's pretty cool. There's a young Brad Pitt wearing a solid gold Rolex GMT Master 2. Wow, that's a serious piece of kit right there. And that's even younger, wearing a Daytona 16520. Daytona looks nice. And the Nautilus. He had the Nautilus for a very long time. There's even a possibility that this is what made the 5711 so popular during the hype years because I remember seeing this image very long time when the watches were first time going kind of mainstream on YouTube, during the early days of the TPG before he was exposed as a scammer. A Bullet Train was a good movie, really. I agree with Mike. Way better than latest Mission Impossible. So it was terrible. Me and the roommate, we almost stayed for another movie, but then I would have been even later than I was late today. As us. Oh, look at this picture. Brad Pitt with the Tim Wright mustache. Looks like Brad Pitt was doing that mustache that I brought with me to London back in the day, and as he's wearing the ellipse. Wow, ellipse, pretty cool. And whoa, he had 5205. Humble Pine has 5205 in white gold with a blue dial. It's a very nice piece. Annual calendar. Let's see, is that it? That's it. That's the watch. Some cool watches. that were there. And at the premiere of the F1 movie, Brad Pitt pulled out this very rare Patek Philippe, which to me looks almost identical to the Rolex uh, 1908 on the new bracelet. It's just almost identical. It's a very, very strange watch for him to bust out for such an occasion. Let's see. Owns different watches. Yeah, it's unfortunately GQ is like a paid to play. So yeah, we can't see it. Um IWC, they have this website section dedicated to all the movies. I think IWC has done great job sponsoring the movie. This could do um, kind of some important promos for them. Unfortunately, they're too thick. Like IWC would be so much popular, so much more popular if kind of like if they did what Tim G was mentioning last time. Like, why are they so thick? 14 millimeters on these big pilot chronos, just slightly too thick. Um, but you know, it's a good movie. I think there's going to be a lot of people who will pick themselves up one of these IWCs to remember the F1 before the movie and after the movie because I think this is going to introduce a new audience, a lot of people who have never considered, who never gave a second thought to watching F1 will now start paying much closer attention. They'll get into that drama. It's very cool. Like in the movie, there's a lot of this drama between the drivers, right? The egos, right? I think we forget how how these teams they have individual drivers, they have egos, and um, you have to work as a team, and there's so many people involved in the race. There's the engineers, right? Um, that kind of change the tires at the pit stop. There's the team that helps the driver understand where all the cars are at and what moves they could do in order to gain the advantage. It's really incredible everything that's happening. Um, my watch channel says IWC would be more popular if they were Rolex. Oh, you know what's funny? There is this scene in the movie, right? And this is a bit of a spoiler, but I don't think it's a big spoiler. But right at the beginning, okay, of the movie, Brad Pitt he races in Daytona, right? He's like the second driver. He gets the lead, and then it's on to the third driver to finish the race, and they end up winning the race. And what happens is, when you win the race, the Daytona race, everybody gets a Daytona watch, a Rolex Daytona watch. But Brad, he takes his bonus, $5,000, whatever. He puts the paycheck in his car, and he's like leaving. And the guy's like, "Hey, don't you want your watch?" He holds the green box. "Don't you want your watch?" And Brad's like, "I already got a watch," and he leaves. Well, I was thinking, like, man, that's a $50,000 watch, maybe more. An official like that Rolex watch. So he took the $5,000 paycheck, the bonus for winning the race, but he said, "Fuck off that Daytona. I don't care about it." And actually, I was thinking like, "Whoa, what's the deal?" Because obviously he could flip it, and it would be more than the $5,000 bonus. But then later in the movie, he he doesn't accept the trophy when they win other race and they get a trophy. He's like, no, 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 give it to that guy. And so I understood that like he doesn't want the trophy. He doesn't really even want the money that much. The character he's just chasing that feeling of when you're in that state of flow during the race when I guess when the driver of the car kind of becomes one with the car and able to just just go through it. Mike Lewis says, Timmy, it's all bullshit. It's a movie. No, they're trying to do certain symbology, right? It's I don't think it's bullshit. Like because it's an important like if it was bullshit, they wouldn't have included it in the movie. I guess the real person, look, I don't even know. Uh, I was thinking for a second, well, maybe a real person would have taken the watch, but there's just so many different kinds of people that it's really hard to say. I think they were, the writers of the movie, they were trying to say something. They were communicating a certain character traits through these little scenes. Oh, don't you want your watch? I already have a watch. So cool. Um, Rob F says it's funny how good some of the racing movies could be. Yeah, there was some really cool drama, like the tension between the two drivers. One older, the other one is young. They're both kind of reckless, and them kind of getting comfortable with each other in order to try uh, and win this racing season. Crashing cars. There's just so much money that's on the line, right? The team before Brad Pitt arrives, it's like the worst team, and because there's always that, right? There's a team that's the worst team, right? Why am I a supporter of Cleveland Browns? Go take me to the dog pound, because look, there's certain teams that have I don't know, they got the best like players or whatever, the best racers, they have the best cars, they have the most money, right? And it just everything is kind of easier for them. Uh, but there's always a story here and there about a team that kind of has everything going against them. But what they have to do is they have to be very creative in order to win. When you're in that spot, when you're number one, people get complacent. They they relax and they have very basic, straightforward strategies. But teams that are all the way at the back, they have to think outside the box, and sometimes they could pull through. I was reading a book about actually this kind of stuff. What was it called? I forget what the book was called, but there's stories like that from basketball, from all kinds of stuff, from war. Um, Rob F says the one about James Hunt was great. Name eludes me. Not sure what that is. John Doe says Tim, Brad Pitt's character based on the Belfast guy, Martin Donnelly. They got his permission to do Brad Pitt character. Wow. Didn't know that. Belfast, the Northern Ireland. It's like it may have lived not too far away from Red Shovel. There's a chance Red Shovel did Martin Donnelly's plumbing. In fact, that name sounds familiar. Matt says he didn't take the Rolex because the movie is sponsored by IWC. No, but they could have um They didn't need to have. There were places where Rolex was featured. Right, there were clocks where Rolex was featured. There were certain angles where there was a big Rolex logo in the grass. Right, so Rolex. It's not like they were trying to avoid Rolex, or they were trying to throw shade on Rolex. I don't think it's that, Matt. He didn't take the Daytona because because that because what I was thinking is these watches, right? They're attached to events, right? Like this IWC, sorry, it's IWC, sorry. This Speedmaster, right? It's a gift from the watch community. A lot of people who watch my streams, uh, who support the channel, they help me get this watch, right? And this watch, it can last forever. And what it does, it carries certain memories with it. Every time I look at this watch, I remember the golden years of the wristwatch YouTube live streams. It was a lot. People were a lot less bitter, a lot less cynical, and back then it was just kind of fun. Everything was new. A lot of people were coming into the hobby for the first time, um, and the longer you go through the experience, you start accumulating memories, experiences, things that happen to you, right? And I was thinking, like, he just didn't want those the watch to hold him back, right? Because that was a trophy. It was a trophy for winning the Daytona race, and and later when he wins a different race, the F1 race. Okay, I'll just spoil it. When he wins the obviously when he wins the F1, he doesn't take that trophy either. He just doesn't want any trophies. Doesn't want anything that except he's got his watch, right? He's got his IWC. He says, "I already have a watch," right? So the watch that he has is very special to him as a character. There's just certain has certain memories. Like for example, let's say something happens in the watch space, and I quit and I go on to do a different hobby, and maybe I have to sell all the watches, right? Maybe I would keep. I would probably, most likely, almost 100% certainly, would keep these two watches, right? The the gift from my viewers, and we're already at 1,567 episodes. All right, 1,567, and that's not even counting all the Gonzo streams. With the Gonzo streams, we're probably close to 2,000. Maybe not that close. Maybe there's another 100 of Gonzo streams. But I would, if I kept these watches, I would always remember the gracious community who gave me the watch, and I would always remember Humble Pie, right? It's kind of why Red Shovel wanted to get rid of the Pepsi. He felt certain things, and the Pepsi was reminding him of certain things that were painful to him. And he was thinking, "Oh, maybe I should sell the Pepsi." But then he reconsidered it. He made a different decision. We'll see how that works out. John Doe says, check it out. Martin Donnelly crashed in 1990. That's when I was born, wearing the same yellow suit and the same yellow car, laying motionless on the track in the yellow suit. Wow. Martin Donnelly. Crash. Okay, I'll pull it up. Images. Oh my God. Yeah. Camel. It's true. It's true. So sorry about that, guys. I'm so sick. Belfast. Wow. Wow. Yeah, because in the movie, He, I guess he does play Martin Donnelly. It's like a redemption story for Martin Donnelly. Brad Pitt is doing a redemption story for Mark Donnelly, where he's a driver that crashes, and after the crash, he cannot go back into racing until that opportunity uh, comes to him. Wow! Shout out to the legend Martin Donnelly. Look at that camel. Oh, it's terrible. It's horrible. Horrific. It's a horrific scene. Yeah. Thank you, John Doe, for letting us know. Martin Donnelly. Is Tim G there? I think he might be at the grill. He His logo is there, so his phone is on the standby. He might be busy with the girlfriend. Doing what. Um, so if he comes back, he'll let us know. John Doe says Google Martin Donnelly crash. Yeah, identical in every way to Brad Pitt's crash. It is. It is. And in the movie, that's kind of part of the character is that. Oh, wait. Maybe that's why he doesn't want the trophies because he's not. Maybe he felt like he was when he got into that crash. Maybe he felt like he was racing to win, and after the crash, it changed him. He no longer crashes to. He no longer races to win. He just races to feel to get that feeling again of being in the flow. Hey, Brenny in the chat. Brenny has been going completely scorched earth, baby, on Britt Pierce and Adrian Barker. It's quite an incredible story. Uh, Calling out like some of their reviews that that Britt Pierce apparently was gifted a watch from by Atelier. Sorry, not by Atelier Wen. I got the watch from Atelier Wen. No, but I don't get any views. But she's got a watch from Christopher Ward. He was very positive about it. Technically, for me, it was a little bit in reverse. I first saw the watch and I loved it, and I was promoting the brand, and then eventually they gave me one to test out, and I'm keeping. I have been keeping it since. I don't know if they ever ask me to return it. I'll return it, but I'm enjoying my Atelier when quite some time. But um, I don't know, I'm just doing things a little bit differently here. Adrian Barker and Britt Pierce, they're doing things their own way, and they started a new podcast. There is a Brit Pierce Bark and Jack podcast that's coming soon to the Instagram account near you. It's called The Movement. I'm not sure. I don't even know what to make of it, guys. What do you think? Let's see. Let me play. Let me play like a little short here from the Movement podcast. Let's see.
The Tag Heuer F1, the little plastic things.
Yeah, I watched it.
And then they've just invited me to Goodwood.
It's exactly the same.
So Adrian, he was critical of the F1 Heuer watches, and they invited him to Goodwood. Wowzers! I thought it's actually not that bad of a watch. The Heuer, those plastic watches. I thought they were pretty cool. They're themed for every race. The price is reasonable for the caliber of people that are going to be attending the that type of event. But let's see here, and the Brit Pierce did the same
For me, the
thing.
whole reason I have a relationship with Breitling right
She has a relationship with Breitling.
now is because I did a video ranking every watch brand and what I thought about them. Breitling, right
Breitling is still terrible, unfortunately.
now, they're still a meh for me. I'm just not excited about them yet. And I'd ranked Breitling at meh. And they saw it and they sent me an email saying, "Hey, we think you're wrong about giving us meh. Why don't we like start sending you some watches and
Wow. Okay, they've been sending Brit Pierce some watches for reviews. Okay.
see if we can change your mind? It's okay if we can't." And I thought that is such a cool move.
I did a video
Is that a cool move? I don't know. Obviously they want to kind of manipulate the the review. Hey, you thought our watches were terrible. Here's some watches to review. Check them out. Maybe they're better. I mean, there's a reason why Breitlings are on Jomo Shop at 50% off, 60% off, some of them. And it's great. It's great for customers. I just wouldn't be buying them at full retail.
ripping apart the Tag Heuer.
Okay. Anyways, so Bark and Jack and Brit Pierce podcast is coming soon. What a breaking news in the watch space. Would you call me crazy for saying the coaxial movement? So they got some questions here. They're taking questions now. If you guys want to go and put some questions for Britt Pierce and Adrian Barker, I'll put the link to their new podcast in the chat. Go check it out. There's no episodes yet. There's just this um just these 3 reels or two reels.
I went to a Red Bar event with Oris in London. I had maybe 1,000 subscribers. I had absolutely nothing. I just cheekily at the end of it said, "Can I borrow a watch? How does this work?" And he immediately just said, "Yeah, let's get you a watch." He explicitly said, "Say whatever you want." And from then on, I've had such a great relationship with Oris.
I was
Mm-hmm.
pretty rough around the edges when I was first beginning. I didn't know how to work a camera. I was learning on the job, didn't know how to do audio. Studio Underdog, they reached out to me and it was at a point where I was very new and they said, "We love what you're doing. Do you want some of our watches?" They sent me all 3. I was about to be on holiday in Scotland and I said, "Oh, I don't know if I can make a video about these because I'll be away." And they said, "Bring them with you. Don't worry about getting any scratches, anything on them. We would love for you to actually wear them." Let me bring them. They were really cool about it. And I will forever have a great relationship with Studio Underdog.
I went to Red Bar.
Mm-hmm. Studio Underdog is pretty good. I'm a huge fan of Studio Underdog. Oris, not so much. It's okay, but it's just I feel like there's other brands that are a little bit more impactful than the Oris brand. Anyways, Brenny has been going absolutely thermonuclear on the new couple. So it's pretty funny to watch. We'll see where it goes. The Movement Podcast. Huh. Martin Donnelly, just like Brett Pitt, raced in the Little League races. Oh. Wait, Brett Pitt raced in Little League races? Didn't know that. Pretty cool. So Brett Pitt actually has some racing uh, heritage or something. It's cool. I seen the film on Wednesday in Hungary. It got released a few days earlier. Oh, in Hungary it was released earlier. That's cool. It's a global film. I think it was great. I think the reviews are going to be fantastic because just everything was perfect. The story was great. It followed the emotional beats of the story really well. Where there's like there's a very clear crisis, and there's the fall, and then there's like the falling action, and finally you get the climax. What's this? Oh, you froze it for me. Wow. Thank you. Roommate got me some cold water. Really kind. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Frozen bottle. Totally frozen. Wow. Delicious. Hey, man, you enjoyed the F1 movie?
Yeah.
What do you think? It was good?
No, he's so lovely renting the whole city in the entire
Got the whole
whole
theater
city.
just for two of us.
What romantic is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So romantic.
That's why celebrities do it.
It's so
Now I get
romantic.
it.
Oh my god, now my team right is celebrate now. He's so rich.
Ah.
He's so
Ow.
rich.
I'm rich in friends. uh, Dr. Bob's, hope you're doing well. Dr. Bob's, a legend of the watch community. You gotta be scared to go fast. Oh, it's so dangerous. It is so dangerous. Um, I would love to someday have my own like a gaming racing rig. And actually, I think Manny has one. Maybe he left it behind. I think he's moved to Miami, so he might have left it behind. But I know Vedster, good friend of the show. He's got one in Scotland. Jib's advice says she's easily manipulated. Let's see who's easily manipulated. They have difference from each. Mike, I agree. They have different from each other watches. Some are okay and some are nice. uh, Brandon is the man calling out these charlatans. Wowzers. Tom is going ballistic as well. It's hard, guys. It is really hard because, you know, it pays the bills, right? These brands probably pay really well to make such videos, right? Maybe at first it's kind of friendly relationship, but eventually, you're gonna be making videos for these big brands in a like a clean way. Costs money, right? Making videos is very difficult. Takes a lot of effort, and it's just unfortunate how the whole YouTube turned. It's just everybody has sold out. Everybody's just spruiking something. You know, look, I genuinely feel that I like the Atelier When watch. So I'll kind of promote it. Everybody hates, or like a lot of people hate the brand, but I think the hatred is undeserved. It's actually really really good quality, and they're not paying me. They give me that watch, but hey, if they need it back, it's all good. Derek M says I picked up a limited edition Kelly Slater. Oh, Super Ocean, let's go. That's the Breitling. It's worth every dime, in my opinion. Things are slowly changing at Breitling, but they have too many options slash variations. Derek, Kelly Slater is a freaking surfing legend. I watched like a clip of Kelly just tearing up the waves, and it's limited to only 500 pieces. For Breitling, those are actually very very small numbers. I think you might have something very special there, and especially if you want to get into surfing, I would highly recommend it. It's a great sport if you know how to swim. If you're careful, I think it's great recreational sport. I would love to get into surfing someday or learn how to surf if I ever go to Hawaii again. Could be really fun. Um, See, David H says, let's put it this way. If Brandon could do what they do, he would. As it is, he punches from below to try to cultivate following that way. Two sides of the same coin. It's the balance, right? Britt Pierce's and Adrian Barker, they need people like Brenny to kind of keep them accountable, right? Because when you're when you're paid to promote a product, um, and if you have completely free reign, and if there's nobody to call you out, um, it might be very easy to kind of just shill product. But when you have people like Brenny who are watching, maybe he's tougher on them than they deserve, right? Maybe he punches them harder. Like it's kind of like what I do for Atelier when that could be considered shilling. But that's like if you don't know me, if you don't know what I do, and but genuinely, like we don't know. Um, I'm very transparent with everything I do, right? If I got to watch for free, I would say I got to watch for free. But we don't know what Bark and Jack relationship is like with Oris. Maybe we'll find out. This is our opportunity to find out if these brands are paying Brit Pierce and the Adrian like straight cash. Is it just do they just give them watches and the like trip and they pay for their trips to the events, or do they pay them cash for production to produce the videos, right? What is their relationship is actually like? This could be great. And since they're coming out, right? And kind of admitting to a lot of these things themselves, right? Like Britt Pierce is saying, "Hey, Studio Underdog sent me watches, sent me 3 watches," right? She admitted that Christopher Ward let her keep a watch, right? That's something that we as kind of viewers of their content should take into account, you know? Um, because these things bias us. Getting a free watch will bias us, will make us, if I got a free watch just sent to me, it's out of the blue, obviously, I think I wouldn't even be able to help myself to kind of say just positive things about it. It's how these brand deals work. David H says it's not criticism, it's just that both are playing social media. Yes, which is fine. I think I watch Tim most days. Thank you, David. And I consider this show to be a kind of neutral ground where people can come together and find neutral ground, right? Because there's Brenny's a little bit sensational in his presentation. He's really like mocking. He's mocking Brit Pierce and Bark and Jack. In a very kind of brutal way. He's eating pie. He's listening. He's watching the video and eating pie. It's over the top. And look, there's people who do the same thing to me, right? There's certain other streams or other channels that attack what I do, and that's fine. They want to claim that I'm not as neutral as I claim I am, but I think I am, and that neutrality for me comes from the fact that I'm paid by my viewers, right? I don't take if I could get money from these brands, right? Um, I would be just making videos, right? But I don't think I'm a live streamer. I love doing live streams. At the end of the day, I do videos because I have to, not because I enjoy them. So doing them so much. I would love to somehow find ways to make these live streams with higher production quality. Although I always been kind of on the higher production quality spectrum. I downgraded the camera because the old one burnt out, but you know. Derek says, "Why does it matter? Every influencer is the same on all other products. We all understand this generally, and if you're fooled by it, then at this point, that's on you." On well, I think Derek, there's a certain. I think it does have to. It can't just be taken for granted, right? Um, it can't just be assumed. You can't assume that everybody understands what's happening, right? And if nobody is saying that, hey, these guys are getting, they're not doing an unbiased review, right? It used to be that somebody would buy a watch themselves, right? Or this wasn't bought by me. Oh, and this one, I didn't buy this one either. Okay, here's a watch that I bought. Used to be like, right, like this. I bought this watch from Daniel Katz, the Ming. Think about it. How much shit I get from Ming. That's the watch that I actually bought myself. And the Ming, they never came to me and said, "Hey, Timmy, do a video for us, etc." I think they don't need anybody. They've got their own apparatus. They're working with Hodinkee and Monochrome, right? But I genuinely like Ming watches, right? Some people might disagree, but this is my unbiased opinion. I bought the watch with my cash, and I'm expressing my genuine opinion. And I make sure to mention that. And I think that's what YouTube used to be like, pre-monetization. We have to understand YouTube monetization. Just it's a recent thing, uh, and a lot of these channels, they've adapted and they turned their hobbies into actually very lucrative businesses. Right? It's no longer, Britt Pierce and Adrian Barker, they're no longer like hobbyists. Although I think Adrian started out as a hobbyist, started out as a little bit of an outlet for him to talk about his experiences with certain wristwatches. And then it turned into a full on business. And I think we have to understand that YouTube is not what it used to be. YouTube now is a professional media source, right? And we think we're watching entertainment, right? You walk, or we're watching a tutorial, right? Like when you watch Netflix, when you watch a movie on Netflix, you're paying for the entertainment and you're watching the video and you're getting entertained. But when and so when you're watching a video about a wristwatch on YouTube, you're thinking you're watching a review of a watch, but you might be watching a commercial. Okay, that's the significant difference. If the person making the review is getting paid to do it, in one form or another, whether it's by getting cash or the product or other business connections, then their opinion is no longer as I don't know if it's as valid, or it should be. Basically, the viewer should take that into account, and I think it's easy to forget that. It's very easy to forget. Sean says, upvote for the hardest working man in YouTube verse. I don't know about that, Sean. I try my best, um, but it's freaking hard. It is hard. Dirk. Oh wait, sorry, Dirk. Darth Diggler. I hope you and Brenny hold the same standard to Oshin, Timbo. Oshin is doing some stuff very similar to Britt Pierce and Adrian Barker, right? He has certain brands that he's sponsored by that he's promoting. I think he lets people know the videos that are sponsored. It's very obvious, but you know what? Maybe it's not as obvious. And maybe Brenny should do the same. Um, but that's a good point. It's a good point, Dirk.
Looks good.
Hey, Tim.
Sorry,
Tim, you're back.
Sarah, it's having sex.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. He's busy.
He's
Yeah.
busy. He's busy. He's busy. How are
Hey,
you?
hey. Huh?
I love this watch.
You like the IWC? It's
I
great.
love this watch. I wouldn't pay 27,000 for it, but I love this
It's
watch.
outrageous.
It's outrageous, but it's a gorgeous watch.
They have to make money back for sponsoring F1 the movie with Brad Pitt.
That's exactly right.
Okay, how else are you gonna get that caliber of um of talent, right, and level of production by not spending ton of money? You know what the budget for F1 the movie was?
I'm afraid to ask, but I think it's like $200 million. Am I off?
It was 300 actually.
Okay. Well, who's counting at that point?
Yeah.
So that means what is that? What does that mean actually? That means what? They have to make like triple that to make a profit? I mean, a real good profit?
Well, no, they have to make 300 to break even.
How much did Brad Pitt get for this movie? You know?
How much Brad Pitt was paid? Oh,
Yeah.
he was probably paid, I don't know, 15 mil. Let's see. I don't know if it says how much was Brad Pitt paid for F1. Let's see. See what it says. Oh, he was paid 30 million.
Oh my fucking God, huh?
So no, that makes sense. The 10%. That's how it works. The star of the film gets paid 10% of the budget.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's the market rate.
How much does the leading woman make? 20?
Oh, she was there only for no. Come on, 20. You should be lucky to get paid 1 million.
No, they make pretty good dough. They make pretty good money. I think they make pretty good money too.
I don't know. Let's see. It doesn't say how much were drivers, producers. Oh, Lewis Hamilton was in it for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
His
Well,
name.
he probably made what, 10 then? 5?
Oh, you check this out. F1 drive. Oh, no, sorry. This is how much F1 drivers get paid. You know that Lewis Hamilton gets paid 24,500 per minute driving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Max Verstappen gets paid 20,500. Charles Leclerc gets paid 13,800 per minute.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, some serious
But you
dough.
know, you get someone like Brad Pitt in there, or you get one of these high exposure type guys. That alone will bring in people, because I would go just to see it with Brad Pitt in it, or with Tom Cruise or someone like that in the movie, just to see it, just to see the movie. I would do that. You know?
Let's see, what is this?
There really isn't a strong woman.
Hold on a second.
Do you like Brad Pitt's engineer? Actually,
Yeah.
I like it.
You know, me and the roommate, we went to a theater in the city. And that's the place to go. Like, if you want to have really, really nice experience watching the movie, it's like Columbus Circle, near Columbus Circle.
Yeah, that's exactly where I went. Yeah, about 15 minutes. Yeah, that's exactly where I went. Is that where you went too?
No.
Okay.
We went. It was in the morning. We went to the local theater. Here, it's a shithole.
Okay. All I remember is that was really nice. That was like one of the best movie theaters I've ever been to in my whole life.
Yeah, actually, dude, when I went there with the roommate back in the day, like 10 years ago.
All right. So
When me and the roommate, we were dating still, I think.
Okay.
That's why we kind of met on the middle ground, right, in the city. She used to live in Queens. I lived in Brooklyn. And we actually saw Paul McCartney.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah, in the theater. He was there watching a movie with some hot blonde.
Okay. That could have been his wife. Okay.
Yeah, it's like an AP girl style girl.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, very nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the nicest movie theater I've ever been to. Supposedly the one in Los Angeles is it Wilshire Boulevard? It's supposedly really nice too. Or Sunset Boulevard is supposedly really nice too. But they're usually the ones that I go to are these chump ones in Massachusetts or Florida or whatever. They're not as nice. But it's not as expensive either. Those were really, all I know is that one movie theater in Columbus Circle was like triple the price that a normal movie theater would be.
Yeah, you have to climb like many stairs. It's multi-level. Yeah, there you can see. Yeah, I got the whole movie theater, but all the tickets, every seat.
That's
So me
incredible.
and the roommate.
And then how much is like what did you have
Private
there?
experience.
It looked like nachos there. How much?
Yeah,
how
no,
much?
it was pretzel bites.
Oh, how much are pretzels these days? Like $12?
Yeah, $12 and $8 for the Pepsi. Pretty much
That's
$20. I was gonna get popcorn, but it was like another $10 or $11. It was gonna be $30. I was like, you know, small
do
popcorn.
nothing. Yeah.
Small popcorn is like $11. Medium is $11.25, and the large one is like $11.50. Some ridiculous pricing.
So this movie just came out like 5 days ago, or 3 days ago. I'm just curious on what the week is gonna, what they're gonna bring in for the first week. You know?
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm curious on when they're gonna make up with that $300 million. When they're gonna make it up. Within 2 weeks, within 3 weeks. It's probably the biggest movie of the year. I'm assuming, right?
Got 40 million in the first 3 days.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, when was the first day? Like Wednesday?
Okay, so right now it's 140 million. Let's see here. F1 gears up with 140 million opening weekend. Oh, okay. Around Brad Pitt and Apple Origins Film Records. Huh. Expensive. Hey,
Mr.
Sean.
Mr. Sean.
How you doing? Tims. Both Tims. How are you? I just hey, roommate looks good. She looks like she's looking forward to the movies.
Yes.
I just realized after what Tim G shared with us, where he was at before jumping on, that Tim Wright, not only you are the hardest working guy on YouTube, but you also provide services that are health-based. You basically replaced the cigarette after sex for Tim G.
Yeah.
You realize that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And Tim G is done. He comes on the Tim Wright channel to unwind. Boom. Nice.
That is true.
So your tagline could be Tim Wright, almost as good as a cigarette after sex.
Yes. Oh, God.
That is true.
Oh, God.
How about that?
That's pretty funny.
What do you think? We need a tagline. Tim Wright.
Cheers to you guys. Cheers to you guys. Having some coffee.
I'm drinking just some tea the roommate made for me with honey and lemon.
Good for you.
Got a bit of a.
And I'm about to dig into this homemade Italian cheesecake that's just absolutely scrumptious. It's from Ferrarini, the Italian place.
Speaking of sweet tooths, Daniel Katz, welcome to the stream.
Hey, Daniel Katz.
Hey, hello. I'm over at the downtown wine bar.
Oh, whoa! A wine bar, fancy.
So let me ask you a question. All the patrons there, they keep on whining. Do they whine about? What do they whine about?
They whine. They hold on. Someone has to show off their motorcycle.
That's a form of whining.
They're whining. They're whining about me and my existence. Sorry.
There's some beautiful ladies there.
Yeah. I don't want to get in their face, but
Well, you
Yeah.
should join them for a glass. Just say hello, ladies, celebrating
Oh,
Pride Week.
no. They're busy with their ladies talk. No, don't put me in a spot.
Ladies.
I'm not doing that. But I'm just gonna have a little bit of Chardonnay. I didn't want to interrupt you,
Ooh.
Sean. Say what you're gonna say.
No, no, I'm glad you jumped on. I glad to see you. I think you were on for a short period of time earlier today, right?
Yeah, I
I was
was in
out
the.
grabbing lunch and I heard you were on, you were shopping for hats or clothing. So,
No, I just walked into the store and it was, just wandering through. It was a designer type store, and
mhm.
there were some hats there, but it was just your typical, a kind of baseball hat saying a typical phrase, something about good vibes, and I,
Positive
Mhm.
vibes only. I need that hat
That's right. That's right.
because that's what we need on these streams.
yeah,
Positive vibes
only
only.
positive vibes.
There's just
Yeah,
so much negativity out there,
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the undervalued segment of the market is the positivity.
That's
There
right.
you go. There
Uh,
you go.
Darth Diggler has just made a remark there. Darth
Yes.
Diggler,
Darth Diggler says Tim is my health advisor. Just the opposite of what Tim does.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
exactly
Dirk
right.
Diggler, man.
yeah, yeah,
Dirk, Dirk, I'm back on.
yeah.
I went to London. That got me off my fat loss journey, but now I'm back on the wagon. I'm 204.7 pounds.
That's pretty.
204.7.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You need to lose
Yeah.
another 10 pounds, maybe.
By the
No, no,
way,
I'm going down to 150. I was 220.
yeah,
Holy
by the way,
smoke!
I
That's my
didn't
peak.
gain any weight. I didn't lose any weight, but I also got sick, Timmy, when I left London.
Oh
By the
no.
time I made it to Paris, I had a cold.
Oh wow.
I had sore
Oh,
throat and everything, and yeah,
but was it just your typical virus or strep throat or you don't know?
I don't know what it was. My
Yeah,
energy level had dropped. It was good enough that we were walking around. I was having fun and all that, but
Mm.
and then when I got back in the plane and even till today, I'm congested.
well, you may have had. It's very common in North America. You may have had Daniel Cat syndrome.
The Daniel Cat syndrome.
Well, that's the issue with that's the issue with the plane. You're always going to catch something, especially on a
Yes,
long flight.
yes,
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually the plane ride wasn't too bad coming back. It was very very comfortable. The ride was good. They got back quick enough, but yeah, it was good.
No
Had the
delays.
had the missus next to me, no delays. So it was good. It's always good to come back home, man. I'm
You
telling you.
have a much longer flight than I do from
Yeah, you do.
Paris. You have a double flight.
Coming,
It's like a what, 12
yeah,
hours?
coming back, interestingly, actually, I thought that going over there would be quicker, but actually
Yeah.
coming back was quicker
Oh.
because going over there it was well over 11 hours
Uh-huh. Okay. And then
direct
coming
flight.
back was like what, 10?
Shy of 11 hours, 10 and a half hours.
10 and a half. Okay.
But then check this out, man. So let's say 11 hours on average. So that's 22 hours. You get to the airport 3.5, 4 hours before. I'm not even talking about the trip to the airport.
Yeah.
Then
Oh yeah.
coming out actually in LA was quick. I mean, we were at it by the time we picked up our luggage. Uh, uh, I mean, by the time we got out of the plane till we picked up the luggage and we exited was 35 minutes.
Nice.
It was
You got
fantastic. And
global entry?
I got global entry. The face recognition is amazing. You just same thing over there. Same thing even in Europe. But in Europe they still have to stamp you. Here they didn't need to, I guess, stamp the passport. So we just went through real quick.
You
And it's
know,
always great when you go through. They do the face recognition. It's always great when you hear "Welcome home." I get chills. It's good.
uh,
It's always good.
when I was flying back from uh from London that time with you guys,
Yeah.
my global entry expired.
Mm,
Okay? Because it's
mm,
it's like a 4 year or 5 years.
hmm
Didn't know that. And it expired. Luckily, to renew it all, I had to just pay the $100.
Yeah.
They had me in the system. It did say that I might have to perform certain things, maybe go again, but they just I paid the money. the next day, boom, your global entry has been renewed. That's it. You're
As
done.
long as you don't have to drop your pants, I'm good
Yeah,
with
yeah.
certain
Excellent. As long as
things.
you don't have to go to the airport, they have to do cavity search.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Coming. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Otherwise they have to send you back to Toronto, Tim.
Yeah.
No, getting through the when they were checking you in through the security going through in Charles de Gaulle, man, they had to and they asked you, hey, can we touch you? And they were in there, man. I don't know what it was that was triggering it. They were in
Wow.
there. Wait a second. You're getting a little bit too intimate. I don't even know your first name. But all in all, it was good.
But to get out without the global entry, it took me way over 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, no, it's I have the pre-TSA and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it's really they've really come a long way.
Yeah.
It's really simple to go, and also, if you've traveled frequently, you're in their system. You get a quick pass.
Yeah.
If you don't travel that often, you're out there maybe once every 3 years or I don't know 2 years, then they may be asked. But if you're regularly going at least once a year, this year it's already been twice for me. For you, Jesus, for you, they should just open the doors and say, "Go, Tim." They should know you by first name basis. Mr. Wright, please.
Yeah, this way, this way, sir. Did you get your global entry with American Express?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's how I got it.
Yeah.
For those who don't know,
and you get the $100 off, right?
I think it's like 120. They pay for the whole thing.
Something off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's $120 for global entry and TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
It's a 5-year membership.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth every dime. Yeah.
Yep, and that's why it's worth getting the certain American Express cards. I think there's a Delta card. There's I guess like just the Platinum card, I believe, has it.
Yeah.
Some other cards that American.
Cheers, Daniel. Cheers, Daniel.
Daniel, let's see.
Cheers, Daniel.
You got food there? Ooh.
It's Chardonnay from Chile.
Chile, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
What is Dirk saying? I can't read it.
If I was a lawyer, we could get the TSA on racial profiling. Big bucks, Sean. Think about it. Call my firm. There you go.
I love Dirk. He always works that angle that nobody else sees.
Yeah, you would think, but I had at some airport, I don't know which one, maybe it was Dubai or I forget now which one, but I had just suddenly they stopped me and they searched my entire bag. They just went through everything, just went completely ham. And it's just, I think because I asked them for some question, I was already through the security, right? And I just asked somebody some question, and I forget what it was. Just some, just some staff a question.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're just like, "Sir," then they bring security, and they're like, "Sir, we would like you to follow us." They took me to some room and fucking fisted me there. Very unfortunate. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Were they polite or what? Were they abusive? What happened?
No, they were polite, but they tore up everything, my entire luggage. They opened everything. They went through every little nook and cranny. I didn't have anything with me, anyways. But I asked them some kind of question. I don't remember now what, but just they fucking. Now I know not to ask any questions. Just stay away from the staff. Just go to my plane. Just be quiet.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're not supposed to even hang out close to the gate for like 20 minutes to an hour because you're going to be the first person to be asked to get rid of your luggage and stuff like that. You're better off just showing up at the gate at the last minute.
These are my friends.
Hello,
these are my friends
hello,
from
ma'am.
YouTube.
Very nice.
Wristwatch collectors from around the world. He's in LA. Sean, that's Tim. He's my nemesis. He's the host. He's the host on.
No, Kojak is the nemesis.
I'm Louisa.
Louisa.
Louisa, nice to meet you.
Okay, very good friends.
All right,
Cheers.
anyway.
Wow, very very cute. What do they call it? Your what would you call her? The
Waitress.
a
Uh,
waitress. Okay, yeah,
I'm
very cute
actually
waitress.
my mistress. No, it's my fifth one. No, no. It's a friend. She works here. I think
Oh,
she's
you
on
come
board.
to this bar often?
No, I haven't been here for since last summer.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Was she there before,
yeah,
Luisa?
she was helping out before. Yeah, and she's very friendly. I think she's from Portugal. Yeah,
Timmy,
nice
Oh,
person.
Timmy, do you know why Daniel likes her so much?
why?
She still asks for his ID.
Still, I thought because of the beautiful smile.
No, just to make sure he's at the right age to drink.
Yes. Ah,
I take
was
it
she?
as a compliment. If I go and
Yeah.
somebody says, "Sir, I have to see your ID," by all means,
Yeah.
let me show
Ah,
you.
that's
By the
funny.
way, these corn chips are addictive.
Yeah.
Porn,
Let's see.
porn,
Oh, the
porn
corn chip.
chips.
Let's see. Let's see.
Daniel said porn chips. What
The
did he say? Porn chips.
the
You've had them, Tim, but
I
they can
think I
screw your
remembered
teeth.
this place. You were definitely here before. You were
Yeah,
showing us those corn chips. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, welcome back. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day to have a glass of Chardonnay there on the streets of Toronto. Daniel is celebrating Gay Pride today.
No, I'm not, but it is Gay Pride Day here.
What is
Uh,
Yeah.
Ray
this
saying?
it's
What?
packed with
Uh,
people from all over the world that are here in Toronto
Ah,
for the 4 days. The big parade, and also at different venues. So just to be very quick, this Chardonnay from Chile, I don't know if they're all like this, but it's got notes of pear, guava, stone fruit, and fresh salinity, whatever that is, salt, I guess. Yeah.
ah,
Ray, what part was that? Me changing tires, or what was I
very
doing?
quiet about. Oh no no. Uh, the 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 owner of the Apex team looks exactly like you, Sean.
Oh,
That's what
really?
he's referring to.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
He was probably the least paid actor.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you. Looks exact one for one. One for one, Sean. Let's see. I may. Oh, hold on a second. I got it. I got it right here. Oh my god! Look at this.
How did Ray like the movie? Did he say that?
I think he enjoyed it quite a lot. Look at
Oh, that's no, that poor guy. He looks a
that.
lot better than me. He's a great actor too. Great actor. What's his name?
Let me look it up.
Not Van. No, Van Damme is that karate guy. Come on. He's a really great actor. He played a movie with Penelope Cruz, actually.
Javier Bardem.
Bardem, not Van Damme.
Whoa!
Bardem. Yeah.
Wow. He's a heavy hitter. I
Yeah. In
didn't
my in
realize it
my
was
in
Javier
my
Bardem.
in my dreams, maybe I look like that guy, but
Oh, you look kind of like him, actually. Wow. Javier Bardem. Holy shit. He was in the No Country for Old Men.
yeah,
One
there
of
was another
the
movie after that he was in. He was really good.
He was really good being very bad, right?
Mm.
yeah.
He was the killer.
Mm,
Very intense actor, actually.
yeah. He had really
Okay.
good performance in this movie. Really really emotional.
So who did he? Because typically in these movies, they run parallel characters to the real world.
Mhm.
So who was he? What? I mean,
Oh,
was he representing Mercedes? Was he representing, who was he representing? Was he Toto Wolf, or was he
so so I'll tell you right now, there may be a real world equivalent.
uh-huh.
In the movie, he plays Brad Pitt's um, teammate before the
Teammate or
crash.
boss? Oh, okay.
So in the movie, uh, uh, Brad Pitt plays Martin Donnelly, and
Okay.
Javier Bardem plays a character who's his teammate during during that, they're racing together basically as like young drivers.
Martin Donnelly. I know a
So
Martin Brundle.
Martin Donnelly is the guy who crashed in 1990s. Camel car, the yellow car. He's actually
Martin
from
Donnelly.
Belfast, where Red
Oh
Shovel is
shit!
from.
How did I not know? Because I was in a Formula One heavy in the 90s. Martin
Hmm.
Donnelly. Oh wow.
This is the, and they actually have a recreation of the scene. So Brad Pitt plays the character who crashes the car, and he gets like trauma from the crash. And after that, he kind of goes on to just participate in in other races, kind of builds up and recovers his
Oh, wait a
like his
second.
yeah.
Oh, that was a horrible crash.
Yeah.
The car basically just snapped in two.
Yeah. Terrible. It's like broke him. The car.
How did I miss that? How come I don't remember that? But
And
he
so
survived. But he
but he
survived.
survived, yeah. He survived. I don't know. I don't think the real Martin Donnelly races anymore. But the movie, in a way, it's a redemption story for Martin Donnelly as a real person, because
Okay.
they
Yeah.
kind of his
Guys, I want
character.
to show you what's left of the car. This is just
Yeah.
the this is basically the seats and forward that's left. Look at
Fuck.
that.
Yeah.
The car just snapped in two.
Yes.
That's
Total
crazy.
devastation. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
That is crazy.
And here, this is oh, wow, this is a really interesting photo. Obviously, it's a telephoto. Here's the car, and that's him just lying there on the track.
Yeah. Yeah. They
That's crazy
recreate that
stuff.
scene.
How did
Actually,
he
so
survive?
when I was watching the movie, I didn't realize that the crash in the movie is based on real events.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's more interesting
He
for
has
me to go because typically, as
it's
I said,
must
they
see,
run
yeah.
parallels and they get inspiration from real events.
Yeah.
And yeah, um, that's interesting because in the 1990s, you're talking about, I don't remember exactly when in the 90s, but 90s, you did not have all these safety measurements that you have now. You had shoulders above the cockpit. Obviously, your neck was above the cockpit. Now you're below, and you have this halo around you. So if anything comes at you, it will bounce off before hitting you. And then you have the neck brace. Yeah, yeah. Your shoulders above, everything's above, and they didn't have any suits with airbags or anything like that.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
make a
amazing that he
mistake,
sort
you're
of
dead.
so anywhere, guys, in that photo, anything on the left of the C for camel,
Yeah.
the car just separated.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's amazing. He survived. Thank God he didn't get hit by other people. There
Yeah.
was a motorcycle rider, a young guy, 20-some-year-old, that unfortunately when he did a low side in a turn, the reason he died is because his mentor, the guy that he always looked up to, Valentino, actually uh, rode his bike over his head and neck,
Oh
and it
no.
was just horrible. And the helmet had come off, and he was
Oh.
face down, basically with face down. He was just going along on the track, and his number is 50. His number was 58, and around the world, any motorcycle store that would sell sold the stickers for number 58, the money went to his parents in Italy to for the funeral and all that stuff. So I used to go to Pro Italia in Glendale. The guys from LA will know where that is. So I bought a bunch of those stickers and put them on my cars and bikes and stuff. And
Wow.
yeah, it was just horrible, horrible, horrible accident. Yeah, this stuff are really bad. Zanardi, I think it was Zanardi, was it? Was it Zanardi, the Italian guy that
See.
his car also got snapped into IndyCart, and then he basically lost two legs, and
Mhm.
within a couple of years he came back racing
Oh
without
wow.
legs. Amazing.
Real.
I think it was Zanardi, wasn't it? Yeah, that was another bad accident that I saw live. It was just
Really?
Yeah, your head it doesn't go. Okay, wait a
Yeah.
second. Is this that serious? I mean, what am I seeing? And
Yeah.
the race, in motorcycle race, was in Malaysia, and it was just this guy's a lengthy. This guy was like 6'3", 6'4", huge curly hair. When he put the helmets on, his hair would be freaking in the wind. Thing. He was just a character and very talented, and he just died at a very young age, unfortunately.
It's awful.
Let me
Really,
see
really
somewhere.
awful. And this was sent to me earlier today as well. This one, the Gross Jeans Insane Fiber.
Oh, yeah, Grosjean.
track, and you very kicks in because
Wait, watch. You see him. That's everything he was touching. Everything he was touching was near melting temperature, by the way. The metal, the railing he's touching. See if you can find something for Zanardi. Alex Zanardi. Really popular Italian racer. He didn't make a huge name for he didn't do well in Formula One. There were plans, I think, for him, or he tried Formula One, but he was really a great character in IndyCar.
Let's see here. Alex Zanardi, tremendous 2001 crash.
Yeah, go for that one.
Let's see here.
And the car snaps in two.
Much different car designs. You can see.
Oh, you can see how much wider they are, and
yeah,
the technology in the F1s are amazing.
Yeah,
F1
I love
cars
seeing all
are
the
amazing.
changes, right? Look at this. It's completely
He lost two limbs.
Oh my God.
When the car snapped in two, he lost two legs.
Jesus.
Yeah. And everybody thought he was dead.
Yeah.
It's really bad. And there's look at that. He got hit. Yeah. It's really bad.
Holy shit.
The impact was just insane.
He got hit and then he accidentally came back onto the road. Jeez.
Oh crap.
Yeah, that's you saw two different crashes altogether.
Wow. Let's try to see it if there's any other footage.
There was another race that was, I think it was the same year as, if I'm not mistaken, same year as Ayrton Senna when he passed away in '94. I think it was the same race. It wasn't the same race. This was at Spa, but same year. Look at it. Look at the impact.
Oh.
It's him. You see, he's up. Look at it. He's the first one that ejects from the car. So the force, right there, that's him in the middle.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
And his legs are gone.
Thrown out, yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he survived.
And listen, and this guy, as far as attitude, outlook, look at him. That's his body. First thing look at it. It's just crazy. Horrible. I think the guy's name was Bettenhausen in Spa. If you want to put Bettenhausen Spa. Now, he was in a Group C, which is these things are as fast as Formula Ones, but now you got a whole cockpit, single-seater cockpit. And this guy had a relatively minor accident, but the car stood by the rail. And in the beginning, you can see from inside the cockpit, you can see him very relaxed, trying to undo his stuff. Also, the smoke comes, fire comes, and he's panicking, and he got stuck. He couldn't get out of it. And the car got engulfed. So he basically got cooked inside his own car. And that's the biggest, he was a younger guy. I think he was from Denmark, if I'm not mistaken, or from Holland. And I think his name was Bettenhausen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I watched that race live also. And that was just before, not too long before Ayrton Senna's death. Might have been even the same year.
We'll get some warning here. No, I'm not sure if it's this one.
No, that's not the Bettenhausen.
No,
that one was at Spa. That was at Spa. just
At Spa.
as he was getting to Eau Rouge. Eau Rouge is the one you come in, do the right hairpin, and then you
Bettenhausen?
start. I think it was Bettenhausen. Or if you put you put down Group C, fatal crash at Spa, and yeah, his car basically caught on fire and he couldn't get out. You could tell he was okay. He was just trying to normally get out, but he got stuck, and then he passed away. He died of the fire.
Jeez. Let's see here. This might be it. All angles.
Here, that's it. That's above. That's Eau Rouge. Well, this is not the one because this is not closed. This is not Group C.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not the same one.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
that's
try
not the
to
same
find
one.
the other one. Jesus, but that's terrible here as well. It's so dangerous. This F1 is really.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
one?
So this is the kind of cars.
Death of Stefan.
That's
Belloc,
the.
Spa.
Okay. Do that. Let me see. What's the name on the driver?
Stefan Bellof.
Maybe that's him. Maybe it was him. Here. Look, he loses on the left side. He hits the.
Oh.
He gets by the. There you go. He stops, and then you can see him moving his hands, and then slowly, smoke comes, and he's not rushing.
Yeah.
He's not rushing. He's trying to get out. Then all of a sudden he realizes he's stuck. He cannot open the door. He can't get out. There's smoke. They show you from inside the smoke too, and he just he just gets cooked inside the car.
Shit.
And that's what they're afraid of. That's what these drivers are really afraid of.
That's one thing if you go quick.
That's a Porsche 962. That's a Porsche. Those things are fast. Rothmans were dominating the races back then. Yeah.
Was this F1 or
no? This is Group C. They call them Group C. Yeah, this back then they used to call them Group C. Basically, these are the ones that nowadays you have the hybrid versions doing the Le Mans. The top class in Le Mans is these cars.
What's the difference? Like, there's
the difference. You see, this is a Rothmans Porsche 962. The difference is you got 800-900 horsepower, but it's fully enclosed. You don't have an open cockpit. You don't have. This is a fully bodied vehicle, and it's very streamlined. And,
it would seem like these would be faster, right?
They are very fast. They are very fast. But they're gonna weigh a little bit more. But yeah, these things are freaking rockets. And to me, they're such sexy cars.
Oh yeah. And do these drive faster than traditional F1 car? Or
no, I don't think so. I think the F1s still do well. These things probably the F1 still will be quicker around the track, but these are nearly as fast. Nearly as fast. F1 around the track is faster than a MotoGP.
I didn't know
because
that.
remember, you have four wheels, and each tire is much wider than a motorcycle. A motorcycle is basically connected to the ground by this much contact with the ground. These two circles. So around the corners, cars go faster around the corners than motorcycles because you got more traction. You got more mechanical traction.
Oh,
shit!
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what's the worst ever accident?
What's the worst accident?
1955 Le Mans. Was it Le Mans? I think it was Le Mans. When Mercedes-Benz crashed and killed 80 people, bystanders, spectators. And for about 30 plus years, Mercedes got out of racing.
Really?
And then they finally in the late 80s, finally they came back to racing. For 3 decades, Mercedes stayed away from racing. So if you want Google, and they'll show you it's really bad crash. I mean, the car goes in the spec where the spectators are, and you can see. I mean, just hits people. Fuel cells burst, so people just get burned by the fuel and the fire. And then you have tires that at high speed crash into the people. It was nasty. And it was a Mercedes-Benz SLR that got hit, that crashed.
Wow.
Yeah. It is the worst ever crash. I got a hold of a tape of that, and I was going frame by frame by frame by frame, because when I was going to college, I was 20 some years old. I was just fixated by why crashes, what causes. Oh, that's it. Look at it.
Wow.
And then some of them don't even show it. I mean, this is where the spectators are. So there's some footages that actually really close. It shows. Look at that. You see that body was scorched, burnt, crisp. 80 plus people died.
Wow.
And Mercedes got out of racing for 30 plus years.
Wow, it's so predictable in a way, because like
Yeah.
they put all these spectators right there. If a car loses, control, it's gonna go straight into the spectators. But I
Shit,
guess like
I
they
haven't
would
talked
assume,
about these. I haven't
yeah,
talked about these incidents for a couple of decades at least. Brings
yeah,
back nasty memories. But
yeah.
yeah, I was very fixated. Why? Because I was an engineer, and look at, oh my God, this thing is just going between the people.
Like it's like
And
a
this footage doesn't show you anything. This is a cleaned up. There's some footages that are just, they don't hold anything back. They just show you, and they're all a lot closer than this one to the people. You can just actually see the tire, and you can see people catching on
Wow.
Oh,
fire.
even the tire coming off that could
Oh,
kill like
it's
tons of
horrible.
people. It's coming in. Like, these cars
It's a
driving at
missile.
140
It's a
miles an
missile.
hour. Whatever. Yeah,
It's a missile.
Wow.
Yeah.
missile.
Yeah.
And
How
back
fast
then
were
it
they
was
going?
steel. There
How
were
fast
steel
were they going?
wheels.
How fast were they going back then?
Oh my God, they were doing 150. I mean, you're
Okay.
talking about supercharged V8s.
Okay.
You're talking about massive torque, pretty streamlined cars. What they lacked was brake. They didn't have a lot of brakes. Back then, they had just slowly were starting to use the disc brakes. They were still massive drum brakes, and a lot of them were inboard drum brakes.
Wow.
So if you apply them a lot, they would heat up.
Mm.
So the issue, and then the tires didn't have that much grip as they do now. They were radial tires.
They were just developing those tires. The
Yeah, they were,
technology, everything
yeah,
was just getting.
Wow.
This is where this technology was being tested and pushed
yeah,
to the limit.
yeah.
Right.
So every year you had massive carnage through the 70s, by the way.
Yeah.
So Jim Clark was this very popular racer,
Mhm.
good-looking guy, very successful, classy guy, and he drove for Lotus, and his body got ejected from the car. Back then, because all they had was a lap belt, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have any braces or anything like that, and body was fully exposed. When these guys went off and they would hit a tree, the car would hit a tree, or they would get ejected and then they would hit a tree, 100 plus miles an hour. I mean, there weren't runoffs. They didn't have sand and gravel to slow down the cars in case the cars ran out of, the lost control.
Yes.
Nowadays, even motorcycles, they have runoffs. That's why, if you want to compare anything that is similar to the conditions of how these guys used to race, you have to go to I Love Man TT, Tourist Trophy, which is once a year in a little island, and these guys race within centimeters of somebody's brick wall or stone, their yard stone wall, and especially the ones with the sidecars where you have a guy. It's a low motorcycle with a sidecar, and the guy that's in the back, his job is to balance off the weight. So if the guy is going on a right-hander, this guy's job is to go to the opposite side and make sure that stops the bike from lifting off, and just keep the bike as straight as it can, fighting the G forces, right? And these guys' heads come that close to the curb, and sometimes these guys misjudge it, and their head hits the curbside or hits the wall. I mean, it's just a nasty, nasty thing.
Wow.
And by the way, the Formula One drivers, the MotoGP riders, after the 60s, when the top drivers, it is in their contract that they're not allowed to race these more. So Valentino Rossi's of the world, and the top riders, it's in their contract that they cannot race this, because this is not a safe race. This is a really brutal race. Look at these guys. And that's stone wall.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not like they're doing a simulator. They're
No, these guys do 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a death wish. I mean, these people are
look at this.
modern day gladiators. There isn't anything like it. Nothing.
Wow, look how fast. Because to win this, you have to take every advantage.
And guys, aside from that, you got all these barriers there, then you got dogs running. These are not racetracks where they're smooth. These are regular roads, bumpy roads.
Yeah.
And you'll see him. Look, he gets airborne. You saw how he got airborne.
and the bicycle shakes.
Yeah.
And look, there's people on the side of the street here standing. If this bicycle loses control, I mean, I guess they're standing in certain kind of safer areas, not where the turn is, but still, it's totally unpredictable.
So one of the coolest clips that you have, the intro clips, is for 2012 I Love Man TT. And first, they're showing you the long shot of the road, nice tree, quiet. Then you hear something like a bee buzzing, and then you see these bikes go, and they let these bikes go 10-second intervals, and then when they're that close, that means somebody got caught up with somebody else, and at times you'll have like 3 of them going for the same turn.
I think we'll hear something like this here. Because like for a long time, this shot, I was looking at this shot for a while. There's nothing happening, and then when the motorcycle comes, it's just split second. Watch this.
Ray's right. Michael Dunlop is he's the king.
Gone. It's so fast.
And he's slowing down. He had slowed down. He had got off the throttle on that one.
Yeah.
Dude, Timmy, put in 2012 I Love Man TT, and let's see. And I'll tell you which video it is when you pull up the. 2012 I Love Man TT. Okay, the second one, and you want to raise the volume. Raise the volume, guys, and volume. Maximum volume. Just watch.
Hopefully it's working.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Quiet.
Yeah. Serenity.
Quiet. Hold on.
Oh, it's fine.
This whole video is amazing.
Bro.
Put this.
That's insane.
I have a video of this, and I put this. mental toughness is amazing. And I put it on my widescreen TV, and I would pull up the chair and just sit there, inches away, and just try to freaking jump in the screen to
Mm.
see what these. It's just unbelievable.
JHB, thank you so much for $20 super chat. Good evening, gents. Movie good? Sean, yes, that is insane. The mental toughness must be incredible. I don't know what must be going through these guys' mental, right? But they definitely have a certain level of passion and
Death
love.
wish.
And yeah, well, it's like they know that this is dangerous because they watch
They're
it all the
enjoying it,
time.
but
Yeah,
listen,
they
listen.
do
These
it
guys,
despite that.
are addicted to it. Listen,
Yeah.
I had to be very careful riding my motorcycle because I'm like that. I love challenges. I love splitting lanes. I love going on the tight roads, be it Sunset from the ocean towards towards Beverly Hills and Brentwood, where you got some tight turns, or you go to the Snake Road where you literally have first gear cambered first gear turns, um, where it's just like you have to be very careful, right? Or Latigo Canyon's very well known. It's up on the, as a matter of fact, Latigo Canyon is the one that I think with Cars and Chronos and a couple other guys, Boston, we went driving, and and uh, you get addicted to the adrenaline, but it only takes this much, right? And then you're taking these turns that are on Sunset, let's say you got 25 or 30 mile per hour turns, you got cars, and these people are, they could be somebody that does packs groceries in van at Ralph's, or just an elderly lady. These are not race cars used to this shit. But because you and somebody else are going at it, you play kitchen, and you're taking that turn at 70 miles an hour, splitting the two cars, and if you just, as you're leaning, if you just lean a little bit too much, your shoulder's going to hit the fender.
I actually, Cars and Chrono took me to the canyons. He was driving the GT3 RS.
Yeah,
We went to
that's the right car for that. Yeah.
yeah. He said his buddy actually crashed there. He lost control, and his car flipped over a couple of times and went down, but he survived. Luckily, survived. No
Yeah.
major injuries at all. But it is extremely dangerous. Very easy to get caught up in this stuff.
So I used to.
And Sean,
Dude.
just very quickly, well, you do drive really well, because I remember we were going to some kind of an event in LA, and there was two cars. It was car that you drove, and you drove like half the people, and then the other half the people were in the other car, and you arrived like 20 minutes earlier than us.
Yeah. And by the way, we actually made in Sunset. We actually turned around, and there were some turns that are back. I had Travis in there, Mrs. Travis, and a couple other people, and I
yeah.
wanted to give him the feel of a G-force in the car. We were in an M
Yes.
car, and so I'm sure a lot of people have this, but I got at the racetrack, BMW's performance. I have different medals for slalom racing, this racing, and all that. And even in you guys, I don't know if you guys have K1 Speedway. I have first place.
Whoa! Nice, nice.
So it's
Goes to
fun.
show
It's
you-
fun.
Yeah, it goes to show, if you wanted to. I mean, you could
Yeah.
have competed, but hey,
I don't know where the other. There are a few more that I have for first
Yeah.
place and stuff like that. So
Nice.
anyways, yeah, and then I'm typically the guy with the white hair, and you got these guys that are a lot younger. They think they're gonna kick your ass, and yeah, you know what?
Well, I drove with you as well in your BMW. We went through LA, some stuff, and then we drove to Vegas.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're a pro. You're definitely a pro. Pickle £2 super chat and wants to know, Sean, did you ever unbox a special fountain pen? Ooh.
I have pickle. I have in the past, but Not recently. I don't. This is the last one that I got, and I don't know if
Daniel,
I
you
shared
gotta
this.
go. You finished your Chardonnay?
Oh, he still has
Oh,
it.
you still got
I,
it.
th-
You
I
still
think I
got it.
think I did this one.
Let's see.
This is the one
Ooh,
that's got that special material from the 1930s. That's unlimited
And who made that?
supply.
wow.
Who made that?
The material is by Omas, which no longer are in existence. These are from 1930s, and the reason these are not available anymore because they were so combustible when they were
Real.
making these, and they would catch on fire. So uh, Armando Simoni Club picked these up, and these are a limited edition numbered. And I have a few different variations, but this is their latest one that they did with some patterns etched. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of 25 made. Um, I'm
What is
trying.
actually the composite of that? Do you know?
It's
Resin?
it's
Combustible
some kind of
resin?
a resin that when they due to chemical and all that, these things can actually catch on fire. I want to give you the pattern. Look at the when
Yeah.
the light hits it. Look at this thing.
It
Yeah, it's
looks like
beautiful.
marbled
It's
wood,
just
right?
amazing. Look at this thing.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
beautiful.
It's such absolutely gorgeous.
And it's got like
And
some Greek pattern there around
yeah,
the
and
cap.
I don't know if you've seen this. This is one of my nicest mechanical pencils. Just I don't know why more people don't make pencils like this. Do you know what pencil this is?
Oh, a pencil.
Do you know
Look
what
at
pencil
that.
this is? You got to think it's
Oh,
Pasha, but it's
okay.
not. Cartier
Okay.
Pasha, it's not.
Yeah,
Do you know
I
what
would
it
be
is?
thinking. Yeah.
Somebody gave this to me. It's a Beauvais pencil.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and where's
Beauvais
the?
has very similar crown on the watch.
Yeah, so it comes with its own Beauvais pouch. You see the Beauvais?
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's
Do you
really solid.
turn for the mechanical pencil? Do you turn it, or is it like a pump at the top?
No, this one you have to turn it, and it's made of wood, beautiful wood.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Who gave it to
Yeah.
you?
Somebody that I forgot
Is
who
it
it
a
was.
0.5 or 05 or 0.07?
Unfortunately, this one is a 0.7. Majority
Okay.
of them are either point. There's
Five or
there are
three.
very
Yeah.
few that make 0.5, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. So the
Okay.
ones that I have that are 0.5, let me see what I have. I use a lot of pencil. So I have a Graph One Fiber Castell.
Okay. Ooh,
This
cool.
is a 0.7. This is pretty cool, heavy.
Yeah.
This is also wood. And then I have a
That looks
Carandache.
nice.
The
Oh,
Carandache is a
Carandache.
Carandache is a this one is also this one is a 0.5.
And
And
Carandache in Russian means pencil.
Yeah,
yeah,
I've got a bunch, but nothing obviously this elaborate. But I've got a bunch
yeah,
of 0.3,
this is really
0.5,
nice.
0.7. Yep.
Yeah. My dad used to have Stadlers. He was a architect, so in his office or at home too, he had a drafting
That's
board, and
that's
I
exactly
used
where
to
you would get it from. Yep.
and I would love when I would ask my dad. I had my own desk in my room, but I would say, Dad, can I use your the drafting table? He would say, Son, you have your own desk. I say, but I like to use because he had a nice pedestal. I could roll it up, sit up high, and then the table, the drafting table, you could incline it, put it up, whatever. So then he would go roll up if he had, in case he had some kind of a plan on it, he would roll it up, and then he would allow me to do my homework. And I love doing my homework. I'm a
Wow.
big drafting.
He was like an engineer. What was he
He
doing?
was an architect. He was an
Architect.
architect, and yeah, had his own construction company, and he did a lot of government projects, and he did major banks. He did the biggest bus depot in Tehran, and yeah.
Nice.
So yeah,
So
Amazing.
your dad would bid for the project against other competitors to the government to build whatever it was.
yeah, basically,
Yeah. Okay.
basically. And then the funny thing is in Iran, if you wanted to get paid, you would have to pay people so you could get paid.
Well,
So,
believe it or not, in some states you still have to do that, like New Jersey and
so
Rhode
the
Island.
bigger the project, the more people got paid, and we
Yeah.
would pay all the way up to people that were really close to the royal family. They had their fingers everywhere. So like the bus depot, it was the biggest bus depot there was. And I remember as a kid when I went there, it was like cities, and so the higher it went, the more higher up would get paid, which meant you would have to pay a lot more, not to get the contract, but to get paid, to get your money.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how Ukraine also works. Except
yeah. So
you
so you
pay,
pay
and
to
in the
get
end, you
paid.
don't even get
Yeah,
paid.
and probably when he passed away, he had a heart attack
Oh no!
while he was on a business trip at age 40, and
Wow.
he passed at a young age, and there were still some contracts that we never got paid.
Jesus. Of course,
Yeah,
they took the opportunity. Oh, he's he's not here to collect it. Why pay? It's just
yeah.
terrible.
JHP, thank you for your super chat. Appreciate it. Moved to US when I was 14. My dad passed away when I was 12.
Wow. Did he like? Do you know like what was the heart attack? What was the cause? Was it like?
My dad had a high blood pressure, which I'm blessed with the same genes,
Uh-huh.
and he was a cigarette smoker, at least 2 packs a day,
Mm.
and that's what happened.
And stress, very stressful.
Of
Because when
course,
you
yeah,
have to chase down people for
yeah,
money, it just
yeah,
causes a lot
yeah,
of unnecessary headache.
yeah.
Terrible, terrible.
Greatest dad, never rose his hand on me, never ever. Um, I could confine with him stuff, knowing that, yeah, he'll give me the look, but he would never punish me. He was a great dad.
And I think you absorbed some of his kind of discipline. Like he was very disciplined. It sounds
Yeah,
get that self control, and
yeah,
because like we are the product of what the of how we were raised passively in a way, because like roommate sometimes tells me stories about her growing up and how her father acted, and I'm like, oh my god, she's acting exactly like her father. You
yeah.
know,
We're all the same. Yeah,
because the roommate has
yeah.
certain
How do they
temper.
say
And
it? The
yeah,
apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Yeah.
exactly, you're the product of your environment. Oh, we're getting a butt angle from Daniel Katz. No, we just put you in mute there. Sorry, Daniel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice
Uh,
place.
yeah. Look at this.
Look at Daniel. Daniel's looking. Look at he's
Yeah,
dressed like a hip guy,
looking
and
good. He's like a hipster,
Hipster.
right?
he's a
Hipster.
hipster.
He's a
He's
Yeah.
a
he's a typical
hipster.
Toronto
He's a
hipster.
hipster in Toronto.
You know what? What's enjoyable seeing Daniel is he's actually enjoying his life. He's doing what he wants to do. Good for him, man. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you, Daniel.
Daniel's living his best life.
I'm gonna go.
All right.
Okay. Nice wine
Thank you,
bar
brother.
there.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Oh, okay, bye bye.
You have to wear headphones, Daniel, because every time you put
Yeah,
your
I know.
camera to the ear, I don't think people want to see that.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'll do
Well,
that
it's
next time.
clean.
Wait, they're
I
clean.
feel.
They're clean. Your ear.
I,
Do you
Yeah,
use
yours are clean.
Q-tips or do you use like
You definitely use Q-tips.
I feel
Okay,
like I'm
next
his
Q-tips or
time.
one of
doctor.
these?
I feel
Yes,
like I'm his
sir.
doctor.
Okay, bye bye. Bye.
Do you use Q-tips or do you use one of these Korean devices?
Yeah.
This is actually,
Yeah.
I think, a lot better. This is a roommate introduced me to this. Instead of using Q-tips, because you have to keep buying more and more, you can get this Korean ear cleaner, and it's recyclable. It's a steal. Very easy, very sanitary. You just
Yeah,
have to wash it.
we'll stick with the Q-tips.
Stick
Hey
with the
guys,
Q-tip.
I'm gonna. Thank you for having me on. Hey Tim, it was great chatting with you.
Sean,
Absolutely.
And
We love it.
thank you
We
so
love
much
that.
for contributing to this nice live stream. The F1 movie, it's all on
I
theme.
look
You know,
forward to it.
you
I may
gave us
grab my
beautiful
roommate and go
information.
see it
Yeah,
I
either
wanna
tonight or
see
tomorrow
it
if we can
myself.
get good tickets.
take the roommate. There's a little bit of a love story in there. I think she's gonna like it, especially because you like cars, and it's it's great to see Brad Pitt. And
What watch did you wear, by the way?
oh, I wore the Brad Pitt watch, the
Okay, very good.
IWC Engineer.
Well, what should I wear then?
You got IWC?
I don't.
You don't have IWC. Okay.
I have a couple of Omega. I have 3 Omega chronographs. I have well, Vacheron, I'm not going to count.
Maybe
Call,
Vacheron.
count.
That's a driving
No,
watch.
I mean
driver's
I
watch.
can do Carrera. I have the Hoyer,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah. Wear the
perfect. The Hoyer's
Carrera.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, the Hoyer's perfect.
the 60th anniversary one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. I
Or the
love that.
Daytona. In the beginning, he races in the Daytona.
Oh, he does.
He
Then I'll
does,
wear
yeah.
my Daytona white gold. It
There
has
you go.
racing dial. It has racing dial.
Perfect.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
It's very
and it
nice.
will go with what I'm wearing today.
Hell yeah. Let's see the outfit check. What we got on tonight. Nice vest.
White
Oh,
pants.
nice. You know, it's hot, but you're still able to dress up but stay cool in LA weather.
And I got my summer jacket.
Nice. Wow.
Very nice.
Looking sharp.
What's the weather?
Looking sharp.
What's the weather like in LA right now? It's in the
It's
70s.
mid 80s.
Okay,
No humidity.
nice.
Yeah.
Freezing
But
here.
this is like all summer versions of like traditional suit, right? The jacket that's like a breathable jacket.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, very, very thin. And I even got my yellow reading glasses.
Those glasses look a little bit like the ones you were gonna buy in London. You know, the blue
No,
ones you were
no,
looking
no.
at.
These are different. These are horn
Oh,
and then very light blue, texture blue, and then
Very nice.
I put yellow tint lenses on them.
and you picked up your strap from Jean Rousseau as well.
Yeah, I showed it to you last time, right? I was gonna wear that too, but I figured I'll wear this one today.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a beautiful watch.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Andrew McCutcheon liked it. So that was
Yes.
pretty cool.
Gorgeous
He
watch.
was into it. He was into it.
Yeah.
was
He
great.
really like, he posted it on his IG. He tagged me, but then I re-tagged to make sure that he knows the official owner of the watch.
Yeah.
That's freaking beautiful.
Gorgeous. watch.
Enjoy it in good health. Go see
Thank
the
you.
movie. Take some pictures. As you go to the movie, take a picture. Of the watch you're wearing for the movie. I think it's a big deal. I think this F1 movie is going to be incredible for F1 as sport in United States. I think it's gonna just open it up to so much more audience. Like, it got me excited about F1. If I just watched the movie, I would be like, I'm gonna watch this, right? If I wasn't involved in wristwatches and stuff like that, right? It would be a choice of like sport for me to follow. Obviously, we can't follow everything.
If you really like F1, you can magnify your enjoyment of F1 by having a better understanding of the history, where it started. Go back to the 1950, the year that basically Grand Prix started. So you know the drivers, the history, and when you got somebody like Verstappen that pops up out of nowhere, and then you have people like Schumachers and so forth, or Hamiltons, then you can go back and appreciate the one Manuel Fangios and the Rodriguez brothers and what they did, and Jim Clarks and Phil Hills of the world, and then you come up to the gentleman that got burned. Jesus Christ. He how can I? Oh, Niki Lauda of the world, and there's so many great drivers, and obviously everybody knows the Ayrton Sennas and the Prosts and Fittipaldis and Mario Andretti's, but if you go to the history and you're watching it, it's just like you watch a long series of this fantastic movie, but you've seen it from chapter one. You have a better understanding of where you are at when you're on chapter 126 if you have seen it from chapter one. So I think it would be interesting for you to just start going back to the 1950 and watch the Grand Prix from there. And then if you really want to appreciate the motor car racing, go to the days where the racing started in France and obviously in England, and then you learn about the Bugattis and the De La Hayes and the Delages, and you learn about the Silver Stars, the Auto Unions, pre-World War II and during the World War II and so forth. Your Alfa Romeos before there were Ferraris, Alfa Romeos were the kings of the road for the Italians, and then you come up to 1950 and you see who the manufacturers were when they got in, and who were the power players, and how they drove, what kind of equipment they had, what kind of challenges, what kind of roads did they drive on, and it's really interesting. And then so now when you have a car that goes in and gets his tires changed in a little bit over 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow. You know, look at the evolution. I mean, where they started and where they are now and so forth. So,
Mm.
but when you watch them racing in the 80s and 70s and even the 90s, where they actually changed gear and you had clutches and all that instead of buttons, you really appreciate. I mean, these guys would walk away with blisters. They would be changing gears or they would be applying the brakes and the pedals while they're bleeding because of the blisters popped open, and they're just cooking inside the car, but they keep at it because they need to, they're just competitive. They want to win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder.
racing's become a little bit less. I think obviously these guys are machines. They're trained very well, and they have a whole team behind them. Back then, some of these guys had a big gut getting in it, and then they would have to deal with all the heat and all the exhaustion and all of that. And the cars are faster now, but those guys back then, they were daredevils. Now there's so
Yeah.
many. The fatality at even higher speeds is very rare. Back then, there was a good chance that if you got into a car, you wouldn't walk away. I mean, that was part of it. I mean, somebody crashed and died. Okay, that's part of what happens, you know. Now it's a rarity if somebody gets killed. I mean, when was the last time you had a Formula One driver? Thank God, knock on wood, that passed through. Hopefully, it will never happen. But
Yeah.
back then, it was a Russian roulette when they got into a car to race, and the
No.
pay wasn't as much as now.
Right.
You know?
Right. There was yeah, okay. They weren't getting paid. They didn't get to live long enough to even see the fruits of their effort. The them risking their life uh wasn't gonna pay off. They didn't even, were getting paid during maybe, but at the end of the race, it was all gone. You know,
You know,
I
Mike.
wonder if we
Yeah,
could
go ahead.
do like um if we can find material uh to give to some people. Let's say somebody like me who hasn't watched F1. I just know, I know Schumacher. I've I've heard now because of wristwatches. I've heard about Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton. Those names are really big in the watch world. So I know about them now, simply because of watches. We always look at watch. Oh, Lewis Hamilton got a new watch, and we look at what he's got there. But I wonder if there is if we could create a material crash course, maybe a few books, some videos where people can watch to catch up to
Hmm.
what's been happening since the beginning until now. Maybe a couple of
Yeah.
books, some videos and stuff. Maybe you can help
No.
us out. When
No,
you have
absolutely.
time.
Yeah, well, it will be, what we can do is we can do, you pick a day, it has to be on the weekend for me to be able to jump on.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start the Sundays with it, where what we'll do is we'll just do certain video clips of a certain, like we can go from 1950 to 1955.
Yeah.
And we can do like a half-hour video thing, so we can just say, hey, these were the characters,
Mm.
this is what happened. One Manuel Fangio won 5 Grand Prix, and that championship, that record stood the test of time till mid 2000s or second half of 2000s when Schumacher finally broke it and tied it and then broke it with his seventh
Wow.
championship. So I mean, that record stood for 50 years, half a century.
Incredible. It's incredible. We
Incredible.
right. We think, oh, we're every year we're
Yeah.
evolving. Sometimes
And
we're
and
kind
then, and
of
then I'm gonna ask you, where do you guys think one Manuel Fangio was from? Which nationality?
Manuel
Guess.
Fangio. Oh, was it Iran?
No, one Manuel Fangio is not Iranian. No, we
I'm
don't have
gonna
any.
imagine it's
Great.
Italian.
French. He's French.
No, here Web One would really like it. So would GD, Argentinian.
Oh my
Argentina.
God.
Okay.
And in the late 80s, 1989, I was at Concours d'Elegance. Actually, I was on at RM auction at Pebble Beach, and I was at Concours d'Elegance. I think it was 89 or was it 90, 91, when Ralph Lauren brought his Atlantic, Bugatti Atlantic, 1937, I think it was, with the rivets, like it had like a mohawk across the whole car was like
Yeah.
rivets. Gorgeous car. And it won. I think it won the best of show, if I'm not mistaken. After that, they made the posters and everything. One Manuel Fangio was there. I mean, these are listen to the names. Not one Manuel Fangio was there. I met him. I didn't go and shake hands, but he was there. I didn't say hello, and he didn't tell me hello. He didn't even know I was there, but I saw him in person.
Right.
I didn't meet him, but I saw him in person. And then you had
How old were you?
huh?
How old were you?
I was 20, either 27 or 20, between 27 and 29, depending
Yeah.
if it was 1989 or 1990, 91, something like that. So then, and again, I've been a race fan forever. And then also, you know, the Bertone bodied cars like Ferrari Bertone and Lancia Bertone and all that. Mr. Bertone was there, the design, Mr. Bertone.
Oh wow. That's a
Mr.
big-
Farina was there. I've met Mr. Farina, and I used to go to Concours d'Elegance. I used to go for the whole weekend. We used to go to Pebble Beach, and back then, you know, I started as an engineer first, and I got into car business, so forth. But I used to take my I had a rocket of a car. I had the original Mercedes 6.3. It was a 427 pound-feet of torque. They made 6,500 of them. Mine was number 4811. It was black on black. It was the monster. It was the first, 6.3 was the first car that AMG modified. They put superchargers on it, and it became known as the Red Pig, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It had number 10 on it, and they would run circles around cars at Spa. That's the car right there. And the only thing they had was it had so much torque, they had to come in to change the tires. The tire technology wasn't that great, and they were just going because the car was over 2 tons. They would just have to come in and change tires right after another one.
Wow.
And this car is worth over $1 million now.
How many
Wow.
how many flat tires would you get? Not that
I
many.
mean, not me. I mean, here, let me tell you this, Tim G. That car was built from 1968 to early 1972, and mine was a late 1971, black on black California car, gorgeous car, and the seats were vintages, like the 6.9 that came after this. It was 6.9. It was the the 450 SEL body style. That was a modern car. This was not a modern car. There was no regards for aerodynamics. The seats were so comfortable. It felt like gentleman's club seat. You would sit down, leather. We had horsehair in there. You had coils in it. It was just fantastic. And I at one time I took 4 of my salespeople to Vegas in the car, and we were doing 125 miles per hour. on the way there, and the car was so flat. I mean, it was just so stable. It was just a heavy car. It had 383 cubic inch engine in it, and it produced 427 pound-feet of torque. It had 300 horsepower only. Out of the 300, 50 of it went for, and that engine was gorgeous. Look at that engine. It was a tall engine.
V8?
Oh, of course, it's V8, yeah. And it took 12 quarts of oil. It had an oil cooler. Everything on that car was expensive. The radiator, if you want to change the radiator, back then it was $1,200. A regular Mercedes radiator was $600. It had bellows for suspension. It was hydropneumatic. So when you would go in the turn, actually the car would want to flatten itself because it had bellows in it. Not only it had four-wheel disc brakes, it had ventilated disc brakes even in the rear.
When did disc brakes start coming into automobiles?
If I'm not mistaken, the first ones I think were in the Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken. That was in production. It was in the 50s, but for this car, you had floating discs also, disc brakes. It had Bosch fuel injection, mechanical fuel injection.
That's a big deal.
And check this out. It has 4-speed automatic. So in the regular drive, when you would put it in D, the car actually started from second gear. It had so much torque. So if I was behind the red light and I wanted to race, I would pop it into number 2. Then you could feel the first gear kick in. It would just jerk. And then when I hit it, this thing, and I put some fat tire.
How wide of a tire is that?
What's that?
How wide of a tire is that?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I mean, that's incredible.
Some wide tires.
It wasn't as wide as these because they had to widen the fenders so they can fit it. But I had these wide tires that look great, by the way, because I still kept the Mercedes-Benz wheels on it. I always like to keep them OEM looking. But anyways, not only from first to second, the rear, even though it had anti-slip differential, the rear tires wanted to brake. It wanted to brake from first to second and from second to third.
Oh,
Do you know how many IROC Z? You remember IROC Z in the 80s was the rage. Do you know how many of them I embarrassed red light to red light? Because this thing looked like a hearse. It was black on black with a lot of chrome on it. And I remember one guy. That car happened to be IROC Z. He's on the left lane. I'm on the right lane. I'm with my friends, and the guy's like, I said, okay. So I pop it into so green light hits, and we're like, and this was on Van Nuys Boulevard. If you know Tim G, Van Nuys in the 70s and 80s was where you went for, drag racing and just cruising, right? So I got ahead. So we got to the next. I stopped by the light first. So the guy comes, and I'm sorry, I was on the left lane, and the guy was on the right lane. So I look to the right. The driver's not looking at me. His passenger looks around. What the fuck just happened? And,
how did that car pass us?
I had Mercedes-Benz optional alloy wheels on there, correct for the period and everything. And this thing was just amazing. Again, mine was number 4811.
Wow.
It was. There is a great movie.
That's when cars were really cars with the metal and everything.
Oh my God!
The gauge of the metal and everything else, they were just gorgeous.
If you take a look at Mercedes-Benz's from that era, especially if you look at the 280 SE 3.5, which is the coupe, or if you get the convertible one, which is now these days they're at least $250,000 cars. The way the wood in my car was a special wood. The way it was curved, it was fantastic. It's gorgeous. Yeah. The quality of the material, the metal, incredible. Everything. Yeah. It was at the level of Bentleys.
Yeah.
No BS. Oh, wow. It was just at a different level. And I did the mileage. Do you know what kind of mileage I got on this?
Probably
Ooh.
about 6 miles per gallon.
Close, just
What?
just under 9.
Okay.
Oh wow.
It was just the beat.
Wow.
And back then, check this out, guys. Back then, in San Fernando Valley, there was a gas station that actually sold racing fuel.
Mm.
It was
Racing.
like 102 octane, some crazy.
Okay, that's
It,
okay. I've
Sure.
never heard of being. I've never heard of domestic
yeah,
racing fuel because
yeah.
usually, like,
Not anymore. Back then, you could get
yeah.
Especially San Fernando Valley was known for all these hot rodders and uh, and all that stuff. So yeah, it was a great car, but everything was expensive. The starter was $600 for
Oh,
that
I'm
car.
sure. Beautiful car though.
Yeah,
Wow.
I should have held on to it. In Germany, they're very sought after. Just a gorgeous car,
Absolutely.
heavy car.
Can't
Okay,
keep
so that's a
everything.
good idea. We should probably do
Yeah.
some. Maybe we can do decade long. Maybe we can do
Yeah.
decade of the 50s, Formula One, decade of the 60s. I have a whole collection of DVDs
Oh.
for the Formula Ones, for the Grand Prix and the Formula One,
Really?
dating back to the 50s that I can maybe, I don't know if I can learn how to do maybe copy and
Yeah.
paste so we
Very
can
cool.
give everybody a little bit of a rundown of the decade of through in the Formula in the Grand Prix that led into Formula One. And then if people are interested, we can go to pre Grand Prix top racing forums, and we can talk about Novolaris of the world that were just amazing race car drivers that used to do the Mille Miglias, used to do the uh, uh, was it Pan America? It was, right? In South America, and I mean these guys were just amazing drivers. Every time they got in the car, they put their lives in danger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single time.
Without them, they carved the path for modern racing. That's a lot more safer. Paved the way.
Yeah.
Without their sacrifice, we wouldn't have the safety features. We wouldn't have
Oh,
a lot of the stuff.
so you can't get their racing gas?
That's what.
I never knew that.
Oh,
Huh,
probably
interesting.
only at certain gas stations.
I
Not in
never heard of.
California.
I've
Not in
never.
California. Yeah, you would have to go if you for you to get them. You have to go to probably to an airport to get them. But
Mm.
back then there was what was the? It was just I think it was a mobile gas station or Texaco that had one pump, and you could get them, and it was expensive. It was just like double the price of a regular unleaded. I mean, the super unleaded back then that they had the highest grade of unleaded. These things were like double that, and this car could take it.
It's a beautiful looking
This car,
car.
yeah, absolutely.
Now stuff is kind of totally out of control. I've seen some of these if Fords, some of these Chevys, $120,000 for like a truck, and
Yeah.
it's like built out of plastic. Everything is creaking. It's kind of falling apart. Ridiculous.
May
I
not
watched them. You're right.
may not the last.
No, it's 3 years and then it's junk.
Yeah.
My watch channel says nothing like the smell of exhaust of an engine on the race gas.
Yeah. So if you guys when we do this, then we need to get into motorcycle racing, and we need to go to the early years of the Isle of Man TT, the Tourist Trophy, and we talk about those daredevils that all they had on them was just leather suits.
Yeah.
And then they had,
Legends.
and then the helmets they wore was just to keep after they bashed their head, it was just to keep the tarmac clean because it provided no safety. It was just for maintenance of the racetrack, not to splatter your brain all over the place and just keep it contained. But those guys were just amazing, and how they raced, and yeah. The world of motor racing is, I mean, there's a lot more romance with the old. I mean, yeah, you can always talk nostalgia is romantic, but
Mm.
there's a good reason to that, it was just so much more romantic. It was just, there was a lot more chivalry involved
Yeah.
in the old form of racing. Now it's very technical, it's very business back then.
It's like everything today, though.
Yeah, it was
The, the,
just very, very,
the,
very mechanical. It's very,
yeah,
I don't know, it's just very
yeah,
digital. It's not, um, it's
analog.
not as romantic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I understand. There was a more of a soul back then.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still modern era. I mean, in the 20s and 30s, you're talking about 80s, 90s, and the 2000s is when I really enjoyed more racing. So I'm modern. I'm not somebody that was born in the 30s or 40s. But
Yeah.
as you see more of this, if you look back, you'll appreciate the past.
By the way,
But
look at this.
by doing so, you'll actually enjoy the present even more, I think, in a
Yes.
weird way.
Knowing history makes because it puts everything in perspective, like why things the way they are now. If
Yeah,
you know history, who developed the first, it's kind of like with watches, knowing
yeah,
like Breguet, what he's
yeah,
done 250
yeah,
years ago, and the influence he had on wristwatches in today's world,
yeah.
right? We can understand, oh, this is why these hands are the way they are and the way they're
No,
built.
100%. I mean, take a look at anything, any form of art. I mean, Michelangelo's paintings.
Yeah.
I mean, you have fantastic modern painters. You have Picasso's and all that, and even the younger generation. But you still have stuff that goes back to Michelangelo and past that they're just they're still top tier. Look at music.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Shania Twain and you have the Beatles, but nobody touches Beethoven and Mozart.
Right. Right.
I mean, the respect they'll get, the respect
Mm.
these guys will have 200 years from now will be greater than any of our contemporary musicians or bands that we know of. The guys that came 200 years ago, 250, 300 years ago, they'll endure better than any of our modern artists.
Yeah.
It's
So
true with anything.
because it's much more harder nowadays because so much of modern stuff is derivative, right? There's all the sampling. It's very very difficult to be original, and
Yeah.
a lot of people, they're kind of chasing dollars. Music is a big business now. It's done different.
No matter what, painting, music, racing, you name it, there was more soul and
Yeah.
passion involved.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And all of these guys did it for very little money
Yeah. Yeah.
and power.
Oh
They
yeah, there
did
was
it
no.
because they wanted to. Now, let me ask you a question. If any of our current top-notch drivers, if the money level of money they got paid was like how they paid the drivers 80 years ago, would they be doing this?
Probably not.
That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Passion
That's the
versus
difference.
monetary incentive. Why do we do anything?
And those guys
Exactly.
risk their lives a lot more than these guys.
Yeah. It's like back in the day, like when I was in Barcelona, I was learning about Gaudi, right? Is this architect, and he had a sponsor. He had a talent, and there was a pat, and he had there was a businessman. I forgot what his name was, but he basically sponsored the talent. He's like, oh, I like what this guy's doing, and he basically paid extraordinary, like not like ridiculous, but he put a lot of he gave the guy basically unlimited budget to make and create all the stuff for him, because the businessman, he had the money, but he saw Gaudi, he had the talent, and Gaudi
Mhm.
wasn't really like doing it for the money. He was just a talented artist, and he was given like the funds to make his vision into reality.
Yeah. Very few of them actually made decent money. Most of them,
Yeah.
they either never made money and they stayed poor, or the ones that even made money, they ended up dying poor.
Well, Van Gogh,
I mean,
right?
I mean, look at
Famously.
Mozart. Look at Mozart. That,
Yeah,
the
they
biggest
all
name.
died. They all died
I
poor.
mean, yeah.
Van Gogh.
You're not even, you don't even have to go to Satie. I mean, Satie was looked at as a weird guy. And when he died, Satie, I mean, you guys have heard Satie's music, and he named his music pieces really weird stuff, made up words and all that stuff, which everybody enjoys it, and and it's really very modern actually sounding. But he died poor. When he died, he had I think he just had a piano, and he was basically surviving by goodwill of the people. What they offered him to just survive. I mean,
I think
yeah,
like Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know. Is a very famous writer. Right? Edgar Allan Poe is
yeah,
he died very poor. I was reading his stuff in school. Very influential. Basically,
yeah.
developed the entire kind of genre of like horror and stuff. Oscar Wilde, I believe, as well. Died poor. Rembrandt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this kind of stuff because like
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's terrible.
Awful.
Terrible.
Do me a favor, as a matter of fact, if for the outro, if you don't have anything committed to anyone yet, if you want to do Satie's gymnopedy, I think it is.
Let me
GY. I mean, he
just
just
give me a
made
second.
up weird stuff.
GY. Uh-huh.
GYMNOPH, gymnopedy, or maybe G. If you put Satie, Satie, it was a French dude,
Let's see, Settee.
and it was a new. I mean, his music was just like really different than anything that had come till then. It's just
Gymnopedy,
Petty.
number one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Gymnopedy. If you want to do that as an outro, that
Sure.
would be cool.
Sure. We could do that. Yeah, it's
Who in the chat knows about Satie, by the way? I'm sure there are a bunch of guys that know that. Quality of the viewership you have.
Settee. It was French or was
Yeah, French.
Yes.
Tim G, you know Satie, right?
Yeah, my mom was a pianist, so
Yeah.
I know.
Oh.
So I know a bunch of stuff. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Tim read about Medici family and how they impacted Renaissance period. They were massive supporters of art, Da Vinci, Sandro, Botticelli, Michelangelo. Yes, yeah.
Go to Florence. Go to
Right.
Florence. There's a museum there, and it's amazing because they had their own walk path on top of the roof of the buildings. So he used to go to his office, and then in the day would walk from home to office, the palace to office, and then going back, he would be going on top of on top. He would not be walking down. I mean, he did a lot for I mean, he wasn't like he was stuck up or anything like that, but that's just maybe it was safety, whatnot. But yeah, he had his own walk path on top of the rooftops of the buildings in Florence. And Medici's, with their wealth, they were the ones that financed the Renaissance, basically.
Wow.
And yeah, it was the money that, when you put a lot of money to good use, it endures generations. And when you put it for bad use, it typically is a disaster for the immediate generation.
Yeah. Hopefully, someday people will discover these live streams and they will find value from what happened here. And I try to do even these live streams. People who put money towards the live streams, members, right? That's why I'm very meticulous at least archiving everything in a very kind of good way, so people can go back almost like in time and rewatch everything. I want to make sure that my viewers, my supporters, get value. Right? Just like I'm not Michelangelo over here. Okay. Don't get me wrong, but maybe
You're a,
someday we'll
you're an
evolve
artist.
into
You're an artist in your
yeah,
own little way.
yeah, in my own way. Um, and everybody who's a member, who's a supporter of this channel, they're a Medici in their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
Yeah,
little
yeah,
way, right?
yeah, exactly.
Kind of
They're supporters.
collaborative effort, right?
Yeah,
Everybody
without
who contributes.
support,
Yeah,
support fuels the engine, right?
yeah.
The progress. Yeah,
There
the effort.
exactly. There's no streams, without the funding. I mean, I wish I could do it, without any without even having super chats or monetization or anything like that enabled. That would be one way to do it. But then, I don't know. I think it's good for people to have opportunity to contribute and be more invested in it. Because when people put their money on the line, they're putting their backing behind the live stream. So, by the way, I just looked up. It was Guel who sponsored Gaudi
Mhm,
was the major sponsor
mhm.
who paid for everything to make the the ideas a reality. Uh, Tim creates art every night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rufus, you're
There
cool,
you
man.
go.
Yeah, yeah, you're cool.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well,
Uh,
this was a
Hey,
different kind of
it was-
a stream.
Yeah. Little
I
We
think we
philosophical.
talked about
should.
everything.
Yeah.
That's good.
We touched on everything a little bit, right? Talked about racing, importance of car, and maybe some people will discover a new passion for racing, a passion for F1, passion for history of F1. Rufus just told us that the app F1 app has archives of all the
Beautiful.
old races. You guys, if
Wow.
you want to learn about F1, that's going to be a
Yeah.
great place
I
to
highly
go.
recommend it. If you think you got the bug for F1, go back and
Yeah.
start from the beginning. You'll even have more appreciation and joy because now
Mhm.
you know where chapter one started and where you're at right now.
Yeah. It's important to know the history. Holy fuck, JHB,
HB.
Oh
$50
my
super
God.
chat. Yes,
Very generous.
great chat tonight. Been very busy with work and not as much, but happy to be listening this evening. Thank you
Oh,
so
Very nice.
JHP, thank you so much, sir.
Very, very nice.
really.
Happy weekend.
Truly, truly appreciate your support, my man. Thank you.
Yeah. Without you guys, the show doesn't exist and every contribution matters and counts and
Yeah.
I really I try my best. Even though I'm sick, I still try to come in, and we always have some fascinating discussion every night. So it's my pleasure to try and host every single day. Tim G, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out to Daniel Katz, Sean.
Sean, thank you.
Sean has
Thank
so
you,
much
gentlemen.
knowledge on the cars. We just need to utilize it. Just have you on more often and share your passion, your love for
Thank you.
racing.
Be
And
happy to.
when you have time, let's discuss and we
It's
can create like a little night. Like
it's incredible the knowledge that Sean's got on
yeah,
that.
Oh my God,
It's
thank you so
incredible.
much. Yeah, it's just passion I had and as you know, as long as I can retain half of what I knew, I'd be more
yeah,
than happy to
and
share.
Well,
share it with other
that's
people.
a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So in any event,
yeah. Thank
thank
you
you.
guys, and I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully on time, not an hour late
Yeah.
like I was today.
no, I needed that extra hour for various reasons, so it was good.
Can I say something to everyone? No matter where you are, try to go out there and make whatever is left of the rest of the day very enjoyable. And if you're fortunate enough to have someone with you that's important, tag them along with you. And if you don't, and you're in search of someone, just go out there and have fun with yourself and the people and the public, the nature. Yeah, get yourself out and have fun.
Yeah, go create some memories and be safe out there. Okay,
Absolutely.
guys, thank you so much for watching. Upvote the live stream, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Take care, guys.
Cheers.
One last thing. One last thing, guys, before we go. Check out some of these fishes. Look at that. Shout out to Dingo Dave. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Beautiful shot. And he's wearing a beautiful Grand Seiko. Cheers, everybody. See you tomorrow.